Johnny Dollar.
This is Frank Harmon, Johnny, at Tri-Western Life here in Hartford.
Hi, Frankie.
Where have you been, anyway?
Oh, I just got back from Lake Tahoe out on the West Coast.
Well, then it's no wonder Jack Price couldn't get hold of you.
Price, in your office down in Corpus Christi?
That's right. He called and told me he'd been trying to get you on the phone for several days.
Oh, well, I'm sorry.
He has a problem, a pretty big one. When he couldn't reach you, he sent it on. He sent her on to us.
It? Her? Which is it?
Both. So come on over here, will you? There's no time to waste.
Oh, what's it all about?
Well, all I can tell you is... Well, somehow, you've got to prevent a murder.
CBS Radio brings you Bob Bailey in the exciting adventures of the man with the action-packed expense account, America's fabulous freelance insurance investigator.
Yours truly, Johnny Dollar. Expense account submitted by Special Investigator Johnny Dollar to the New England office of Tri-Western Life Insurance Company. Following is an account of expenses incurred during my investigation of the unworthy kin matter. After the Lake Tahoe mess, I was ready for a nice long rest, but a job's a job. So expense account item 1, $1.10 for a cab back to Frank Harmon's office at Tri-Western in the big new building on the square.
Glad you finally got back here, Johnny.
Hiya, Frankie.
Now, sit down. I'll get right to the point.
Okay.
Try to give you the whole story before she gets here.
Who's she?
Name is Jean Unworthy.
Unworthy?
That's right.
That's a funny one.
Well, our little problem isn't very funny. Now, listen.
I'm listening.
About 4, maybe 5 years ago, up in Ypsilanti, Michigan, a prominent businessman was killed by a guy named Eric Bean.
Oh, you're telling me.
It was a ruthless, pointless, wanton murder. Simply because the victim refused to give him a few bucks.
And the defense tried to get Bean out of it on grounds of temporary insanity.
Yeah, that's right. But instead, they sent him up to the Michigan State Prison. Gave him life with no chance of parole.
Oh, yeah, I remember. It just happens I was in on that case.
Oh, of course. Of course you were. Well, all right then.
Well, I didn't play a very important part in it, I have to admit, but I was there.
And you were there during his trial.
From the first to the last gavel.
Yeah, and you know what Eric Bean did when the judge pronounced sentence on him.
Yeah, that's right. Because it could be that Bean thought his remarks were partly aimed at me. I mean, this talk about getting even with everybody.
All right, sure. Sure, I'll go up to your lousy, stinking prison. Order! Order in the court! But if you think you can keep me in it, you're crazy. Order! Order! Will someone restrain the prisoner? Because I'm going to get out. When I do, I'm going to kill everybody that had anything to do with filling me up. Officer, restrain that man. No! Don't take your hands off me. I'm going to kill anybody that had anything to do with this.
Yeah, Frankie, it was the typical threat of a tough criminal to get out someday and get even with everybody.
By killing them.
That's what he said.
Including you?
Well, I told you I really didn't have too much to do with the case. So there's no real reason for Bean to hold a grudge against me.
Was there any real reason for the murder?
Well, no. But listen, you know how little those courtroom threats usually mean.
Yeah, well, then you're not at all worried over the fact that Eric Bean escaped 7 or 8 days ago.
Oh?
Well?
No, not particularly.
Well, you should be, Johnny. Along with the rest of the people who were involved in that affair.
Oh, Frankie, I told
Johnny,
you.
In the past 5 days, Bean has killed 4 of the people he promised to kill.
No kidding.
And the police have no idea where he is or when he'll strike again. And another one of his intended victims is Mr. Albert K. Unworthy, who's now living down in Corpus Christi, Texas. And he's insured by our company for over $500,000. Well?
Yeah.
And now, Act 2 of yours truly, Johnny Dollar.
All right now, Johnny, when Jack Price wasn't able to reach you, he dumped the whole thing in my lap, including the old man's daughter, Jean. She arrived here in Hartford early this morning, came in here and demanded that you be appointed a bodyguard for her father.
Oh, now listen,
I
Frank.
phoned her at her hotel right after I got in touch with you. She's probably on her way over here to see you right now.
Hey, look, Frank, I'm an investigator, not a body...
Listen, buddy. Are you forgetting Eric Bean may have you high on his list, too?
So what? So what? If I keep my eyes open, my manners and my... Oh, I see.
What?
Yeah, put two of Eric Bean's intended victims together. Give him a wide-open chance to kill two birds with one stone, so to speak, and he's almost bound to show. Yeah, so the cops who've been standing by pick him up along with our two bodies. And the company has done a great public service. Hooray.
No, that wasn't what I was thinking of at all.
Frank, I couldn't go down there to Corpus Christi right away anyway.
Why not?
First thing tomorrow morning, I have an appointment in New York with an attorney for a deposition in that Lake Tahoe case I just wound up.
So you lose a few hours.
And what's more, I hate those bodyguard assignments, and you know it.
But when such an important client's involved, Johnny...
Well, there's nothing but a lot of trouble with an A-1 chance of getting shot in the back.
Yeah, but don't you see...
No, Frank, I'm sorry. If Unworthy wants protection, let him call in the police. They have a very good force there in Corpus Christi.
Johnny...
And when this dame, this daughter gets here, well, simply tell her I don't want the case. And I mean it, Frank.
That's final.
That is unequivocally and irrevocably and absolute...
Mr. Harmon?
Miss Unworthy. Oh, please come in.
Huh?
Thank you.
Yes. Come in and meet Mr. Johnny Dollar.
Hi, Johnny.
Suddenly I changed my mind. Even as that whole office suddenly seemed to change and take on a strange and wonderful glow. She was, so help me, one of the most beautiful girls I've ever seen. Tall, but not too tall, with honey-colored hair and a complexion that, and a figure that, and a twinkle in those baby blue eyes that, oh, what's the use? The right words simply aren't. Not to describe this one. Wow.
Well, sit down, please, Miss Unworthy.
Oh, thank you, Frank, but I told you this morning to please call me Jean.
Oh, yes, of course. I forgot.
And that goes for you, too, Johnny Dollar.
Oh, sure, Jean, sure.
Can you leave with me right away, Johnny? I mean, for Corpus Christi? I hope you told him how urgent this is, Frankie.
Well, yes, I did.
Then you will come and watch over Daddy until they catch this murderer, won't you, Johnny?
Well, now, Jean...
Yes?
Well, that is,
Yes? Johnny?
Well, I have to be in New York first thing in the morning to see an attorney.
Oh, well, that's just fine, then. Because I have an early morning date in New York with Madame Olga Marino before I go on back home.
Oh?
You know who she is?
Oh, well, sure, I've heard of her, but I never thought anybody in the world actually had enough money to buy those clothes, those gowns that she designs.
Oh, now you're kidding me, aren't you?
Well, you know.
But I just love having her things. Oodles and oodles of them.
Uh-huh.
So we'll go down to New York tonight. I'll be staying at the Pierre, so you stay at the Pierre. And we'll have a ball. We'll really do the town. Oh, I just love New York.
Well, now,
Then tomorrow morning, while I'm getting some dresses and things, you can see your lawyer, and then we'll take off for Corpus Christi together.
Jean...
But come on, hon. We'll have to hurry if we want to make the 4 o'clock plane to New York.
Well,
And Frank, dear, thanks so much for finding Johnny. I feel better. I feel that Daddy's safer already.
Expense account item 2, $21.50 for a cab and plane tickets to New York for the two of us. With this charmer in tow, well, believe me, it wasn't easy, but I realized that with an important assignment on my hands, I better play it safe and behave myself. So, down in New York, item 3 is $9.50 for a taxi to the Pierre, where I dropped her off, then to the Gotham, where I got myself a room. That evening, the tab for cocktails and dinner at the Pavillon, no less, came to $58. And I was pretty impressed by the maitre d's immediate recognition of her, and his disappointment at the smallness of the bill she'd run up. Oh, and tips, by the way, came to $14 more. Then the evening really got underway via the nightclub route, and I mean only the most expensive nightclubs, where again she was recognized by all the maitre d's. And the total bill, by the time I dropped her off at the Pierre shortly after 4 a.m., only $130, including tips and taxis, of course. I hope my deposition the next morning in the attorney's office made some sense, because I was bushed. But then, after leaving him on the way back to my hotel, I picked up a newspaper, and I nearly blew my top. Item 5, 6, whatever it is, 85 cents for a call to Frank Harmon back in Hartford.
Now, Johnny.
And it was you who gave that story to the wire services about my going down to Corpus Christi to save the life of dear old Albert Unworthy.
But, Johnny, you yourself suggested it might help to flush out this killer.
Oh, yeah, sure. Make it easy for him. Get 2 of us in one trip. Thank you very much. Item 7, 287.50 plane fare, tips and incidentals for the flight to Corpus Christi. And by the time we got there, well, I don't know. I don't know how to say it. But, well, that genie is not only the most beautiful, the most charming. Well, put it this way. By the time that flight was over, if Jean had said, "Come on, Johnny, let's get married," I think I might have taken the leap without one single thought about the consequences. And after we landed and she stepped into a phone booth to call and make sure her father was still all right, well, I was almost annoyed at the sudden appearance of an old pal of mine, Doug Johnstone, kid brother of Jack, who dramatizes these radio cases of mine.
How'd I know you were coming down here? Well, Johnny, it's all over the papers.
Yeah, I was afraid of that.
Oh?
Yeah, but how are you anyway, Doug?
Oh, I couldn't be better. Hey, boy, you certainly pick 'em, don't you?
What do you mean?
Your, traveling companion, Jean Unworthy.
What do you know about her father, Doug?
Well, I kind of thought you might want a little help while you're down here. That's why I came to meet you.
Oh?
Yeah, now, here's what we ought to do. You, put her in a taxi. Her home isn't far from here. Then you and I run on down to my office and talk a while, and I'll drive you out to their place later.
Well, now, wait, Doug.
I think that's a very good idea.
Oh, Jeannie, this is an old friend of mine, Doug Johnstone.
Hi,
Jean,
Doug.
I've always looked forward to meeting you.
Well, how nice. I'm meeting more good-looking men these days. Johnny, Doug's right. See, it'll give me a chance to kind of freshen up and prepare the royal welcome for you here in Corpus Christi, all right?
Well, I kind of
So
hate
you
to
go
have
ahead
you...
with Doug, and I'll see you at the house later. Taxi! Taxi!
Huh?
Okay, Doug, let's go. Okay, now, Doug, as you were saying.
As I was saying, well, sit down. Make yourself comfortable first, Johnny.
Thanks. Well?
Well, Johnny, old man Unworthy is loaded, all right. Despite this gorgeous daughter of his trying to spend it all. But when she turns on the charm...
Oh, you are telling me.
Always a sucker for a good-looking gal, ain't you, Johnny?
Oh, now, Mr. Johnstone saw...
Oh, sure. Jean is different. The point is...
Oh, she sure is.
The point is, though, that there may be something in the rumor that her old man is getting a mite fed up with some of her extravagant... Johnny, hand me the phone, will you?
What's the matter? You think I don't make a good secretary? Oh, this here's Mr. Douglas D. Johnstone's office.
Help. Quick.
Jean.
Yes. He's here. That killer.
What?
He's here in the house, and he's going to shoot Daddy with a... No! No, please! Ah! You killed him! You killed him!
Now, Act 3 of yours truly, Johnny Dollar and the Unworthy Kin Matter.
Doug Johnstone and I tore out to the house, and, yeah, Mr. Albert K. Unworthy was dead, all right. 3 neat, clean bullet holes in his temple. His daughter, Jean, was a wreck. One sleeve of her dress was torn. There was a red welt on her cheek where she'd apparently been struck by the killer.
Oh, Johnny.
All right, now, easy.
It was so terrible. So awful. So terrible.
Okay, now, honey. Just try to take it easy and remember exactly what happened.
Why did it have to happen to him? It was so good. So wonderful to me ever since the day that he adopted me, and now he's...
All right, take it easy. Now, who else was in here, Jean? Were you in here with your father alone?
Yes. Yes, Johnny, I don't know where the servants are. Daddy must have let them take the day off, or... But this man... Then this horrible-looking man came in.
Can you tell me what he looked like?
Well, I don't know. I saw him only a few seconds. He was short, and he was heavy set, and that thick black curly hair that came down to a point on his forehead.
Yeah. Go on, Jean.
That strange pale... That pallor... His face was almost gray.
After 7 years in the
And
clinic.
one of his ears, it was kind of mashed, like a piece of cauliflower. There was a dirty scar, too, on his hand when he held that pistol on poor Daddy. Oh, Johnny.
And his height, his weight. Have you any idea?
Oh, I don't know. He was maybe 5'7" or 8. And he was heavy. Maybe 180 pounds or something. He was stocky.
You ask me, that fits the newspaper description of Eric Bean almost to a T, John.
Had you ever seen Eric Bean before, Jean?
No, Johnny. And there was that wild animal look in his eyes. And he came rushing in here with that gun, and I tried to call you, but he knocked me down, and then I guess I passed out.
Right, easy.
Oh, Johnny, please help me.
Yeah, sure. You want to call the police, Doug?
Sure.
Doug not only called the police, but the family doctor. And after Jean had given the police all the information she could, the doctor gave her a mild sedative and sent her up to bed. By that time, Jean's personal maid had come in, so after assuring her we'd do everything we could.
Johnny, dear, don't you see? Now, you may be in danger from... Oh, dear. I guess whatever the doctor gave me, I can't stay awake. We'd come back, dear. Come back.
On the way back to Doug's office, neither of us said a word. Not until we got inside and he closed the door. And even then we sat there quietly for a minute.
Well, Johnny, you like a little drink?
No, thanks. You have one.
No. You,
No?
Nothing, I just... Johnny, you're thinking the same thing I am.
Yeah, Doug, I guess I am. Mind if I use your phone? My call was to the police, not there in Corpus Christi, but in Ypsilanti, Michigan. It's item 8440. I got hold of Sergeant Tim Brower, the man who'd originally arrested Eric Bean, who now again was working on the case.
What do you mean, am I afraid of him? Are you, Dollar?
Well, I expect I ought to keep an eye out for him.
Why, you'd be away down on this list.
Like maybe Mr. Albert Unworthy and...
Yeah, like Unworthy and Phillips and Mrs. Peterson and half a dozen others. The only ones he's trying to knock off now are the people whose testimony really set him up. But we'll get him before he does. Because he's just crazy enough to have set himself a very obvious little pattern in these 4 new murders.
Yeah, what kind of a pattern, Sergeant?
All the people around here. And in the order of their importance in the case.
Oh?
First was the judge, Judge Henry Packham, who actually set the sentence.
Okay, Sergeant.
Then the chief prosecutor, Mr. Frederick Wallman.
Okay, Sergeant, that's all I need to know.
Then there was... Huh?
Well, Johnny?
Yeah, well, I guess you tipped me off, Doug, when you said something about her father getting fed up with her extravagance.
Her foster father?
Oh, yeah, she told us that herself, adopted. There was no real blood bond between them.
Mm.
So, I suppose it's no wonder she was taking him for all she could. And when she found he was going to pull back on the reins...
Well, I'm afraid her description of Bean is what stopped me. Too perfect. I mean, when a man suddenly barges in, knocks her down, and fires...
Yeah. 3 bullets into his skull. But when she said he was going to kill him, and we heard only 2 shots. Only 2, Doug.
Yeah. Johnny, you want me to go along with you?
Just, let me use your car.
Sure.
You mean you found the murderer, Johnny?
Yeah, Jeannie. And all the proof I need.
Oh, thank goodness. And did you kill him when you found him?
Kill?
Yes.
Him?
What?
Only one more thing I'd like to know.
Yes. Well, what is it, Johnny?
What you did with the gun.
Oh,
Well,
it's out in the little fish pond. Under the library when... Johnny, not a chance for me.
not a chance. And I learned about women from her. Following Eric Bean's pattern, the police in Michigan were able to pick him up in less than 2 weeks before he could kill again. The expense account, the total, call it $500 even. Yours truly, Johnny Dollar. Johnny Dollar.
Pat McCracken, Johnny, Universal Adjustment Bureau.
Well, good for you, Pat. Just keep it up.
Now, what's that mean?
2 assignments in 1 week? Fine.
Oh, 1 week and 1 day.
So I still like it. What goes this time?
Johnny, how old are you?
Just exactly 30... Huh? Why?
Still young enough to remember how you felt and acted when you were a young punk, huh?
Sure.
But I hope you were a better sort than the one we have to deal with in this matter. And yet, on the other hand, well, you know the saying, it takes a crook to catch a crook.
Huh?
So maybe we'd be better off if you'd been an A-1 delinquent when you were a pup.
Do you mind telling me what you're yammering about?
But I suppose you were a good boy.
Well, I was no mama's boy, if that's what you mean.
Oh, I mean no real trouble with the law. No stretch in a reform school, no hoodlum gang, no good contacts, experience, that
Pat.
sort of thing.
Pat.
Oh, I guess not. It's kind of too bad, though.
You mean if I had a nice black record, I'd be just right for this whatever you have in mind.
And yet, on the other hand,
Oh,
Johnny...
come on, Pat. Start making sense, will you? Well?
Yes.
All right.
All right. Culpepper Walker, Mono Guarantee Insurance Company. Do you know him?
In their office in Little Rock, yeah.
Good. Fly on out and see him, will you, Johnny?
Because of some trouble with some kid?
That's right.
Okay.
Just a kid, Johnny. But if what Walker says about him is true, if you expect to get anywhere with this boy...
Yeah?
You'd better take along a pair of brass knuckles, a length of chain, maybe a switchblade knife.
Oh, that kind, huh?
That kind. A real bad one.
CBS Radio brings you Bob Bailey in the exciting adventures of the man with the action-packed expense account, America's fabulous freelance insurance investigator.
Yours truly, Johnny Dollar. Expense account submitted by Special Investigator Johnny Dollar to the Mono Guarantee Insurance Company, Little Rock office. Following is an account of expenses incurred during my investigation of the Bad One matter. Expense account item 1, $2 for a cab to Bradley Field. Item 2, 8110 airfare to New York to Little Rock, Arkansas. The plane had left New York at 6 p.m. At 8:50 Central Time, we set down at Little Rock Municipal Airport. There have been a lot of changes since the year 1772 when a guy named Bernard de la Harpe stopped here and tagged the place after an outcropping of rock on the south bank of the Arkansas River. Yeah, it's an interesting town with its modern air-conditioned buildings of chrome and glass, its busy streets and busy people. And at the same time, its beautiful residential section, fine homes, plenty of trees and gardens and hedges and lawns that stay a lush green throughout the year. Not far away are well-cultivated farms and dense forests. And along the river, lots of rich bottomland, much of it loaded with cotton. Any kind of crime just doesn't seem right in this area. As soon as I got settled, I called Culpepper Walker, made a date with him, and then early the next morning met him at his office where he got down to business.
No, Dollar, not right here in town, but in one of the outlying precincts, I guess you call it. Section they call Milltown.
Oh, I see.
And his name is Pete McGuire. Works in a cotton mill. He's 18, 19 years old. And he's the only one knows who killed Mr. Brierly.
Brierly?
Ambrose W. Brierly, client of ours. Insured for near $50,000. And his business partners in the mill are also clients. Very important ones.
Mm-hmm. Well, what happened?
And Monday night of last week, Mr. Briley was driving along with the payroll for the cotton mill, like I said, over in Milltown. That's east of here.
Yeah?
Somebody ran his car off the road, bashed in his head, and took the payroll, some $17,000 in cash.
He was carrying all that money around alone at night?
Well, he'd taken it out of the bank here in town just before the bank closed. He started out for the mill, but he'd had some trouble with his car, with one of the front wheels, and he had to stop and have it fixed. By the time he got on the road again, it was nearly dark.
Well, tell me, you sure he didn't just swerve off the road by himself?
No, he was shoved off by another car. Tire marks, the skid marks, showed just how it happened. Chief Andy Fisher of the Milltown Police Department checked that out.
I see. Well, could the police identify the killer's car by those tire marks?
No, sir. And that's where the McGuire boy comes in.
How do you mean?
I mean, he was caught running away from the scene. Not more than, well, couldn't have been more than 1 or 2 minutes after it happened.
Caught by whom?
Well, police car. Chief himself was in it. Just checking the beat out there. He chased the kid down and brought him in for questioning.
Well?
Nothing.
Nothing? What do you mean, nothing?
All they could get out of that tough young punk was absolutely nothing.
Well, then, what am I supposed to do if the police haven't been able to get anything out of him?
Well, you could try, can't you?
But it's a matter for the police.
If it wasn't for Mr. Brile, his partners.
Now, what do they got to do with it?
Their insurance. Insurance on the cotton mill. Thousands of dollars in premiums every year.
So?
Well, I can't afford to lose it, Dollar.
Well, so why
and
should
they're the ones, his partners, who insisted that I get you out here to investigate.
Oh.
Yes, sir. Mr. Dollar? Johnny?
Okay, Culpepper, I'll see what I can do. Item 3, $50 deposit on a rental car, and I drove over to Milltown, to the one-room police headquarters in the city hall.
Yes, sir, Miss Johnny. I was right there at the scene of the murder in my prowl car, right after it happened.
Oh? How come, Chief?
Man at the bank had told me about Mr. Briley's car trouble. It was getting dark, light rain falling, and Mr. Briley toting all that money. Well, I thought I'd better make sure he'd gotten to the mill all right, so I started out that way. But what happens?
All right, what happens?
I got there to Spring Road crossing, and there's his car in the ditch, and another car tearing away up the road.
Oh?
And this young Pete McGuire trying to get his motorcycle started and get away from there. Kinda he seen me arriving on the scene. So when I found Mr. Briley's dying there in his car, I grabbed the kid. Yeah, if only I'd have had sense enough to follow up that other car.
Now, you're sure this Pete McGuire didn't do it?
Well, of course he said he didn't, and that was before he clammed up like now when he won't say anything. And he also asked me, didn't I see that other car that left a couple of minutes before I arrived?
Well, Chief, that doesn't prove...
And there was another thing, Miss Johnny. You could still see by the tracks how that other car had shoved old Mr. Briley's car off the road. Doc Hamper come along about that time, and he
Could you read those tire marks?
No, sir. But Doc and I could still read the tracks from that Pete McGuire cycle. So he come along after the other car left.
All right, I see.
But he must have seen who was in that other car, so he knows who did it.
Oh, well, now, wait.
I'm sure of it, Mr. Johnny, because of what Mr. Briley said.
What he said? When?
Well, laying there in his car, dying, thinking the doc was Pete standing there. And he kept saying over and over.
And Peter, you saw it. You tell him, boy. You tell him who did it. You saw it, boy, so you tell him. You tell him.
Yes, sir, Miss Johnny. Over and over again, he said it, and then he died.
I see.
So he knew that Pete McGuire saw who killed him and robbed him.
Well, maybe.
Of course he did. That no-good kid.
Why is he no good, Chief?
Why? Well, how should I know why, Mr. Johnny, except that he wouldn't go to school, he was a town bum, his ma never knowed where he was at. The most work he ever done was pushing a pool cue.
Oh, well, now, most kids...
That boy has been a troublemaker all of his life. 10, 15 times I tried to get him to send him to reform school.
Hey, you really don't like him, do you?
Nothing but trouble out of him.
And I take it he doesn't exactly go for you.
Huh?
Maybe a cop hater even, huh?
Yes, sir. That's right. A cop hater. Just like his old man was. Like his old man taught him before I had to kill him one night in a robbery.
Pete's old man?
They ought to send this cheap punk up to the pen. But first I got to find out who killed Mr. Briley.
Of course you're holding him, Chief.
On what?
Material witness, withholding evidence. There must be some way.
Oh, with him claiming he's blacked out and don't remember anything? So that Percy Van Ashworthy Tetweiler upstairs.
Percy Van who? What?
The public defender. Got the judge to release Pete McGuire on his own recognizing or whatever it is.
Recognizance.
Yes, sir. So McGuire's out and free as a bird. But if he tries to run up before I can get him up before the jury...
Oh, Chief, lots of
But
kids.
don't you worry, Mr. Johnny. Everybody on that jury are my friends. So they'll lock him up all right.
Yeah, I see. Be a kind of revenge, huh? Because he won't cooperate with you.
Now, look, Mr.
Or
Dollar.
maybe just because he's a cop hater? Where'll I find this Percy Van, this public defender?
Upstairs in his office. But do you think he could get anything out of that kid?
Well, now, as the kid's defender, do you think he'll tell you if he did?
But if he did, and you find out, you got to tell me.
Yeah, we'll see about that.
Mr. Johnny, I am not going out of here with a punk kid making me look like a fool. All these years working to keep order here in Middletown, having to retire a few months from now. Yeah, and going out no richer than when I was walking a beat. So maybe I'll have to live with some of my relatives somewhere out west. But you think I'm going to leave with this kid making a fool out of me?
I'll see you later.
And now, Act Two of yours truly, Johnny Dollar, and the Bad One Matter.
Percy Van Ashworthy Tetweiler was hardly what his name might have implied.
And, call me Tet, will you, Johnny? I don't like the name Percy any more than I imagine you do.
Yeah, sure, Ted.
Now, as I was saying, in spite of the chief's feelings about him and all the trouble he had with Pete's father, well, put it this way. That poor ignorant kid has had the odds against him ever since the day he was born. His father was no good.
So I understand.
His mother was an alcoholic. And because he's always been a stupid little runt, the other kids always bullied him.
Oh?
Yes, and when they'd pull a job, none of them very serious, I'll grant you, they'd leave him behind so that he'd be the one to get caught for their mischief and petty thieveries. He didn't dare peach on them or they'd beat him up. And the chief never let up on him. So he's hated cops, hated anything that had to do with law and order.
Which includes you.
Yes, I'm afraid so, in spite of my attempts to get close to him.
And even you haven't been able to get him to talk.
I've tried everything, Johnny, from sugar-coated kindness to the worst threats I could think of. Everything short of Chief Fisher's heavy-handed methods.
Oh? You mean the good old third degree, the rubber hose tactics and things like that?
Well, of course, the chief denies it.
Oh, sure he does.
And don't forget, I'm the one who got the judge to let him out on his own recognizance.
Why?
In the hope he'd open up to me. But to Pete, I'm still the law, just as much as Chief Fisher and Judge Thurber.
Well, weren't you taking a big chance on his running away?
But he hasn't.
Yeah, I wonder why.
Won't do any good to ask him. Believe me, won't do any good to ask him anything. Oh. Look out there, out the window. Here he comes now.
Pete McGuire?
Yes.
Okay, give me a try.
What?
Yeah, look, don't tell him who I am, what I'm here for.
Johnny, if I thought you could do any good...
Believe me, I can...
But don't you see, unless he talks, the jury, all of them friends of Chief Fisher, and if he tries to run...
Now, listen, I'm no friend of yours, see? Maybe I'm a troublemaker, a con artist.
What?
Yeah, you want me out of town. You threatened to have me locked up if I... Hey, wait, here he comes.
But, Johnny, I'm afraid I don't...
Yeah, okay, you just try and do it, see? I got a right to make a living, and unless you got some formal charge against me...
All right now, Mr. Tetweiler.
Pete, come in.
Now, listen, Tetweiler...
You, sit down, Dollar. Sit down.
Yeah, make me.
If I have to, No, Pete. Pete, do you want to talk now?
Yes, sir.
Good.
Yes, sir, I sure do.
Well, if that's all you got to say to me...
No, Dollar. Stay, I'm not through with you.
That's what you think.
Well, Pete?
Public defender, huh?
That's right. And that's why
You're
I tried
all trying to trick me is all.
What?
So you got me out of the clink, huh?
That's right.
So's now you think I don't know I'm being followed all the time? By that chief of police or one of his men all the time wherever I go? And I think I know why, sir.
But the chief promised me, Pete.
Yeah, the chief promised you. You believe that dirty cop? I tell you, Mr. Tetweiler, you get him off my tail.
Now, listen, Pete. And don't you see, if you just tell me what you know about the murder of old Mr. Brierly... Pete? Pete, please, boy. Pete, listen to me. If you're trying to protect someone by holding back...
Did I say I was? I say I really know anything?
Well, the chief says you do. Well? Oh, Pete, for the... Look, you're in trouble, boy.
I'll get out of it my own way.
No one's really proved you didn't kill him. So unless you tell me what you know...
You just keep that cop off my tail.
Hey, wait a minute, kid.
Pete, come back here.
See you later, Ted.
No, Dollar, come back here.
Drop it. Hey, wait a minute, kid. Hey, Pete, your name?
What's it to you?
So you don't like the cops either, huh?
Either?
Got a tail on you, huh? You want to learn how to shake a tail from an expert?
Expert, huh?
Yeah, that's right, me.
He called you Dollar, huh? That's a good name. Sounds like money.
Oh, yeah, baby, yeah. Maybe plenty of money. And maybe I can use some help in this burg, huh?
Help in what?
Why not? Just wait. Talk here in City Hall with the cops liable to show, hey, you got a car?
I got a cycle.
All right, good. I got a car, a good one. So tell me where to meet you, huh?
You don't care if the cops are following me, if they follow you too?
You think I couldn't shake them?
Maybe.
All right, you head for wherever you want me to meet you, see?
Now,
and
listen.
if I spot somebody following, Pete, I'll shake them so easy.
You sure of that?
Sure, I'm sure. Then I'll meet you wherever you say, huh?
Because if they find out where I'm hiding out, you sure you won't tell them?
Look, I promise I give you my word. Well...
7 Mile Road, out beyond Spring Road at the railroad crossing.
Yeah?
You better hide your car. There are lots of trees.
Yeah.
Now, you walk in the gully on this side of the tracks. Then you see a little tool shack on the side. I'll be there.
Okay. I don't know how soon, Pete. If we're tailed, I may have to lead him away. But I'll see you, huh? We were tailed, all right. And I could see by whom. And I wondered. To keep him from following Pete, I had to let the boy go on ahead. It was nearly an hour later then by the time I got to the tool shack. And I thought I'd lost the man who was tailing me. There was no padlock and a heavy hasp on the door of the tool shack.
So y'all come on in, Mr. Johnny.
Johnny?
That's right, Johnny Dollar, the big eye.
Oh, I see.
So they brung you here to try to make me talk, huh?
The insurance company, Pete, not the law, not the police.
No?
No.
I know all about you, Mr. Johnny. I long admired you for a long time. I hear that you was coming here. Oh, I hear lots of things, Mr. Johnny. And I hear you coming here. I figure maybe you can...
Help you, Pete? But unless I know whatever it is you know about that murder...
Maybe I can tell you.
Come on, Pete, try.
But I couldn't tell the police. I'll tell any of them. I'll tell that defender you talking to. They don't believe me. You think they believe me over that chief, Mr. Johnny? You think they do?
Oh, Pete, you must have a pretty sour idea of justice.
And that chief, he run this town. And he like to kill me. Like he killed my old man. He don't like him. Only he killed me 'cause he'd say he'd catch me trying to run away.
Now, Pete, you listen to me.
And I don't really know who killed that Mr. Brierly. But I think I know, and that's why I don't dare say what I think to that chief or to anybody.
But when you saw the car, the killer's car, heading away from the place...
But, Mr. Johnny, the only one I see is the police car when it comes from the direction of the mill. So
From the direction of the mill?
So I really don't know. But that chief say I do, and if I try and answer the questions...
Oh, wait,
they
Pete.
trick questions. Like that chief trying to make me answer when he come there and see me there.
Pete, listen.
And I tell you, they only let me loose so they can make me try and run away. Then that chief, he can kill me, and nobody see it's wrong.
Wait a minute.
And he'd do it, too. And that's
Chetweiler.
why I gotta hide
He
away
himself
from
said that.
anybody.
Yes, Dollar. The chief had me let him go in the hopes he'd have confidence in me. Talk to me.
The chief had let him go. Sure. Maybe it was to get an excuse to kill him if he ran. And another car. Pete saw no other car. So how would the chief know one had left the scene a couple of minutes before he got there? And there were other things.
You think I'm gonna retire with this kid making a fool out of me?
Pride of an old man who's been running the town.
Yeah, and going away no richer than when I was walking a beat.
Oh, but he'd be rich enough with that 17,000 payroll. Sure. And meantime, he knew that Pete McGuire, in his ignorance of justice and his fear, didn't dare to say what he suspected, didn't dare accuse this man he thought would kill him with impunity. Yeah, and that everyone connected with the law was against him.
They're all against me, and so I want to live, Mr. Johnny. I can't tell nobody, not even you.
Yeah. Maybe you don't need to, Pete.
And besides, I only think I know who killed Mr. Briley.
Yeah. Well, I'm sure. As sure as I... Huh? Hey, Pete, that smell.
Coal oil.
Yeah, kerosene. Hey, look. Soaking in around this door. It's blocked. Somebody's jammed something into that hasp out there.
Mr. Johnny, fire! Now they're smoking this fire.
You're right.
Winds is locked in here. We'll be burned alive.
Keep talking, Pete. He forgot the hinges are inside this door.
What's it?
Keep talking while I pull the pins out of those things.
We're dying here. We're going to be cooked alive in here, Mr. Johnny.
Here's one.
We're going to burn up in here,
Here's the
Mr.
other.
Johnny. We're going to be cooked alive.
Now, come on, Pete. Come on.
Mr. Johnny, we're going to die.
All right, Chief.
Mr. Dollar?
Yeah, that's right.
I see this shack on fire.
Yeah, well, you set this fire. There's further cover-up for having killed Mr. Brierly.
This boy told you that. I'll kill him, too.
Oh, no, you won't, Chief.
Put away that gun. I'll kill you, too.
Oh, no. Chief! You miss you, Pete?
I'm all right, sir.
Oh.
So you killed old man Brierly.
Mr. Dollar.
And if this boy did know. But until you were sure he did, and you kept him too scared to talk. All right, Chief, you want to write and sign a confession?
But if my people found out I
Or
did...
shall I use this gun of yours on you?
No, please.
Be justice, though, wouldn't it? Well?
No. Oh, yes, sir. I'll sign the confession.
Okay, then. Up on your feet. Up on your feet! Yeah, pretty smart. Using that poor ignorant kid as a means to keep any suspicion away from himself. But believe me, not smart enough. Expense account total, including hotel expenses, the rental car, and the trip back to Hartford, $231.20. Yours truly, Johnny Dollar.
Johnny Dollar.
Mr. Dollar, this is Frederick Benham.
Benham?
That's right, at Tri-Mutual Insurance Company Limited.
Oh, I see.
There's a very important matter I'd like you to look into for us.
I thought you always used members of your own staff. I mean, as investigators.
Ordinarily, we do, Mr. Dollar. Ordinarily, any problem that might arise would be handled by one of our own men. In this case, however, unfortunately, not one of them is a fisherman.
Did you say fisherman?
That's right. I understand from those reports of yours that broadcast on the radio that you are a very good one.
Well, I like to think so, but do you mind telling me what connection that can possibly have with an insurance problem?
I'll be very glad to. Shall we say at 3:30 this afternoon, here in my office?
Well, if it has anything whatever to do with fishing, Mr. Benham.
Oh, it has, Mr. Dollar. It has. 3:30 then?
Okay. I'll be there. The CBS Radio Network brings you Mandel Kramer in the exciting adventures of the man with the action-packed expense account. America's fabulous freelance insurance investigator, yours truly, Johnny Dollar. Expense account submitted by Special Investigator Johnny Dollar to the Tri-Mutual Insurance Company Limited Home Office, Hartford, Connecticut. Following is an account of expenses incurred during my investigation of the low tide matter. Why kid about it? Tri-Mutual is not a company I'd ever pick to work for. Although I'm sure they serve their clients very well, they just happen to be a notoriously stingy outfit when it comes to handing out money for assigned services.
But it's the old story. Mention that magical word fishing, and I'm gone. Expense account item 1. At exactly 3:15 p.m., $1.20 for a cab to Mr. Benham's office in the Tri-Mutual building. Being the methodical sort that he is, he kept me waiting at the reception desk until the exact time of our appointment.
Very well, Mr. Dollar. You may come in now.
I was beginning to think you'd forgotten I was waiting out here.
Date was for 3:30, I believe.
Well, then you're slipping, Mr. Benham.
Slipping?
Mm-hmm. According to my watch, it's nearly 3:31.
Then your watch must be wrong. Come in, please.
All right. Now, let's get one thing straight.
Yeah?
I'm freelance. That means you pay my expense account on whatever it is you want me to do.
I'm fully aware of that.
Also, I'll expect a fee.
I'm quite familiar with your scale of fees, Mr. Dollar.
Or, of course, a commission. A percentage of the actual amount of insurance involved.
Of the amount saved, Mr. Dollar.
All right, have it your way.
I usually do.
I'm sure you do. But whichever comes out largest, fee or commission, that's what I get. Okay?
Yes. But now sit down.
All right.
I wouldn't want you to start charging us for the time taken with these, shall we say, amenities.
What's it all about?
The Foster Machine Tool Company, or rather, Mr. Charles Foster himself, and his junior partner, Michael Brady.
They're both clients of yours?
Our concern is over a partnership policy we've written for them. That will pay the survivor some $500,000 if and when the other dies.
A lot of money. Which of them is on the sick list?
Neither. But I'm seriously worried about Charles Foster.
How come?
He came in here the other day to ask if the policy could be canceled.
I see.
And, of course, I had to tell him we couldn't do that without the permission of young Brady.
Mm-hmm. Why does he want to cancel?
He and Brady haven't been getting along. Business hasn't been good, and he suspects Brady, who is much younger and completely and selfishly ambitious, of being responsible.
Why, when Brady himself has a share in it?
To ruin Foster, force him to sell out his share of the business cheap.
Oh, it's been done before, I guess.
Of course it has. But then Brady walked in and said he wouldn't consider cancellation of the policy for a minute. So the only trouble with Foster was that he was overworked. But what he needed was some rest and relaxation.
Don't we all?
I beg your pardon.
No, nothing. Go on, Mr. Benham.
I've tried to reach them for several days now in the hope of talking it out with them. Well, of helping them reach some amicable solution to their problem.
They've refused to see you?
No, not exactly. They've gone away together.
Where?
On a fishing trip.
Look, don't knock it. It's the best way in the world I know of to get rid of troubles.
Best way in the world I know of for Brady to get rid of Charles Foster.
Oh, no, wait a minute.
And thereby collect $500,000 insurance.
Mr. Benham, aren't you jumping to conclusions just because a couple of men...
You wait a minute, Dollar. You don't know these two as well as I do.
I don't know them at all, but it does seem to me
Perhaps
that...
Foster is getting old. Perhaps Brady is right in wanting that business for himself. He'd certainly make a go of it.
Then what's the beef?
Well, the more I think of it, the more certain I am that Brady knows only too well that the one way to get that business without its costing him anything, and $500,000 besides, is by having Foster dead. For old Foster to go on a fishing trip. Ridiculous.
What's the matter with the fishing trip?
Nothing. For you, or me, or Brady. But for old Charles Foster, ridiculous.
Yes, you said that.
And when Brady wouldn't inform me or Foster's wife or anyone else where he was taking him, well, Dollar, you've just got to find them. Make sure that Foster gets back here safely.
Now, Mr. Benham...
Or if it's too late, that Brady has already done him in. That Brady is brought to justice.
Well, you sure can build a mountain out of a molehill.
And I tell you that if you knew those men as well as I do, Dollar, you've got to find them. And don't forget there's a possibility of a commission on $500,000.
Yes, but not much probability. I think you're going off half-cocked.
Would you rather not take on this potentially highly lucrative assignment?
Okay, as long as you're paying the bill, I'll go out and look for them.
Good. Now, what's your first move?
Well, you know something, Mr. Benham?
Yes?
I haven't the vaguest idea. My first move was to call on Mrs. Charles Foster, a sweet, lovely little lady in her 60s. She was worried sick over the way her husband had suddenly taken off for parts unknown with young Michael Brady. She didn't trust Brady. She was afraid of him, of what he might do to get his hands on the business. By the time she got through talking, I began to wonder if maybe Fred Benham's fears weren't justified after all. Then I called on Mrs. Mike Brady. This was something else again. Kathy Brady was a living doll, and not one bit worried about the way her husband had taken off. Why should she be? This girl had everything. I mean, besides looks and charm and all that goes with. He'd set her up in a home that must have cost a couple of $100,000 with a couple of expensive cars, clothing, jewelry, the whole bit. Whether business was bad or not, they were living high on the hog, no doubt of it.
And while Mike's away, Johnny, I'm having a ball. A flock of big parties that are really the most...
I don't doubt it, Mrs. Brady.
Oh,
But now what
please, Johnny. Call me Kathy,
Okay. Now, Kathy...
And if you're on the loose, I mean, if you'd like to be included in on some of these brawls...
I'm afraid that I have a job to do. I have to find your husband. And I would certainly appreciate you giving me any ideas of where I could start.
Oh, now look, honey, don't worry about Mike. He'll be back. He always comes back. He kind of likes me.
You said always?
Well, you don't think this is the first time he's just up and gone fishing or something?
Well, where does he go?
Oh, I don't know. Somewhere as far away from business as he can get. When we lived on the West Coast, he'd go up to Lake Mead or Mojave. Sometimes he even came east to Maine, New Hampshire. So, now, who knows?
Tell me one thing, Kathy.
Anything, Johnny.
Did he usually take somebody along with him on his trips?
Oh, now I get it.
What?
It's that old Mr. Foster, his partner, that you're worried about. Now, surely you don't think a thing like that could ever happen again.
A thing like what, Kathy?
I mean like that partner he had a few years ago when they went on a hunting trip to Canada and some fool with a big rifle almost killed Michael, too.
The man who was then his partner was killed?
Oh, poor Michael. He was so upset about it, he sold out the business. And you know, it still upsets him if I even so much as mention it to him or anybody else. But now about these parties I'm throwing while he's away. Johnny?
Kathy, you're sure you don't know where they might have gone?
I haven't the least idea, Johnny.
Mm-hmm.
But now listen, if you're free and like a lot of fun...
I'm sorry, but I really have to go now.
Oh? Where to, Johnny?
A long, long way from me. Sure, Mike Brady could use $500,000. Living it up the way they obviously did. And what a plum that machine tool business would be if, that is, he didn't have to share it with an old man. And what about his former partner? Hunting accident? I'll bet. But where to start? I took a cab back to my apartment. That's item 3, $1.50. Poured myself a drink, pulled a steak out of the refrigerator, and then... something Kathy Brady had said clicked in my head. I fairly ran to the telephone and put in a long-distance call to my old pal, Ham Pratt.
Johnny, good to talk to you. Coming out to Lake Mojave for a little fishing?
I don't know, Ham. Depends on your answer to a question.
Fire away, Johnny.
Well, this is a real shot in the dark. Have you seen or heard anything of a guy named Charles Foster?
Charles Foster?
Yeah, Foster. You know anything?
Boy, Johnny, your shots in the dark are getting better and luckier all the time.
What do you mean?
Well, the police from over in Kingman and the sheriff and the coroner seem to think that a guy named Charles Foster has been in some kind of accident or something. But, Johnny, if you ask me...
Just hold everything, Ham. I'll ask you in person. I'm on my way. Item 4, $6 for a record-breaking taxi ride to Bradley Field. Item 5, $170.40 for a night flight to Los Angeles. Item 6, $21.10 for a plane to Las Vegas. There I got hold of a rental car. The deposit of $50 on it is item 7. Shortly after noon the next day, I was at my favorite fishing spot, Lake Mojave Resort, just above Davis Dam in the Colorado River. But I had other things in mind as I sat in the little office down by the dock and talked with Ham Pratt, the manager of the place.
And the authorities have asked Mr. Brady, that was his partner, you know, have asked that Brady stay around a few days just in case.
Now, let me get the whole thing straight, Ham.
Go right ahead, Johnny.
All right, now, Monday, that's 3 days ago. Brady and Foster hadn't been getting along too well, so each of them went fishing alone.
Right. Mr. Foster went up toward the Big Basin. That's about 10, 12 miles up the lake.
And Brady said he fished down below, near the dam.
That's right. Mm-hmm. And nobody has any reason to believe otherwise.
Nobody except you.
Because of the way young Brady had been behaving, Johnny. You see, Well, with all the people I meet running a place like this, well, I like to think I know a little something about human nature.
That's the understatement of the week.
Well, thank you.
Then the wind came up.
Yeah.
All the rest of the fishermen came back in, including Mike Brady.
All but old Mr. Foster. As soon as we dared, after the big blow let up a bit, we sent the launch out looking for him. But all we found was his boat.
Where?
Beached on the side of the big island. You know, the one about 7-8 miles up over on the west, the Nevada side. Could have come from almost anywhere in that much wind, though, Johnny.
And there's been no sign of Foster's body?
No, sir.
All right.
Excuse me, Johnny. It sounds like that's for me.
Sure.
Yes. Oh, hello, Sheriff. Oh. Yes, I see. Okay, sir. Thank you. Well, Johnny.
Yeah?
Sheriff says I can tell Mr. Brady it's okay, that he can pack up and leave if he wants to.
Don't.
Oh? Why not?
Just don't tell him, Ham. Not yet.
You have an idea, Johnny?
Let me make a phone call. Then, if it works out the way I hope it will... You got a boat with a good outboard on it that I can borrow?
Well, sure. You can take my own with a 40 horse on it. That'll be fast enough for whatever it is you're up to.
That'll be fine. But first, let me have that phone. My call was to the Weather Bureau in Vegas, and they were able to tell me the exact direction of the big wind of 3 days before. Then, alone, I took off in Ham's outboard and drove some 8 or 9 miles up the eastern, the Arizona side of the lake. There, for the next few hours, I carefully explored every wash and cove that was a few degrees north of northeast of the big island on the opposite side, the one Ham had mentioned. Luck was with me. The lake was smooth as glass, the water clean. There were a few other boats around in some of the coves, fishermen. I hope I didn't disturb them too much with my prowling. I noticed that one boat kind of followed me, as though the man in it hoped I might lead him to a hot fishing spot. He didn't follow me into the cove they call the rock pile, where a lot of huge boulders have fallen from the cliffs above into the deep, clear water. There I found it. The body of a man, wedged down between 2 rocks some 15 feet below the surface. 1 foot apparently was tangled in an anchor line. I quickly stripped down to my shorts, dove on over the side. 2 hours later, well after dark, I quietly took the body, what was left of it, back to the resort. The body of Charles Foster.
And you don't think we ought to notify the sheriff's office?
Not yet, Ham, because we haven't any proof that he was thrown overboard with that anchor tied to his leg. Even the bruises on what's left of him don't really prove anything.
Pretty diabolical, Johnny. If you hadn't been carefully looking for him in those coves, I mean at that depth and with usually a ripple on the water.
I know. That dead calm was the only thing that made it possible. That and a little luck.
And if the body had stayed there a while, nobody ever would have found him. But now look, Johnny, if what you told me is true, if all that insurance was set up to go to Brady and the business, well, now listen, you better nail him fast.
Proof, Ham. Don't you see, without proof that Brady did it, and with everybody believing his alibi about being down at this end of the lake near the dam, if only there was some way to make him show his hand, something we could do that...
Yeah, well?
Ham, I got an idea.
Believe me, Johnny, better be a good one.
Now, don't tell me how you cooked this yourself, Mr. Pratt.
Hardly. I just had it sent over from the cafe. And nothing wrong with it, I hope.
Well, can't you tell by the way I'm making a pig of myself? It's fine.
More coffee, Mr. Brady?
Yes, thank you. But, you've aroused my curiosity.
Oh? About what?
Just why you asked me here to have breakfast with you.
Well, with all you've been through these past few days, it seemed like the least I could do.
I appreciate it. Oh, a cigarette?
Oh, no, thanks. You go right ahead, though.
Thank you.
Matter of fact, the reason for all this food is I was half expecting somebody else to join us.
Oh? Who?
Old friend of mine who pulled in here yesterday afternoon. His name is, oh, now, maybe that's him now. Come in. I thought you was going to have breakfast with us, too.
Damn, I forgot all about it. Sorry.
Well, sit down and have a cup of coffee with us anyhow.
Why not?
Meet Mr. Mike Brady, one of our new customers here.
Hi.
Mr. Brady, this is Mr. Johnny Harris.
Oh? Harris?
That's right. Why do you say it that way, Mr. Brady?
Oh, I just thought there was something familiar about your voice, Mr. Harris.
I don't believe we've ever met before.
No. I guess we haven't.
Coffee, Johnny?
Sure.
Well, Johnny, you plan to bring in a string of lunkers today?
You're going to try.
See, Mr. Dollar is one of our most avid fishermen, Mr. Brady.
Mr. Pratt, wait a minute. Just then you called him...
Yeah, Ham. I thought I'd take a crack at the rock pile this morning.
The rock pile, did you say?
Yeah, that's right, Mr. Brady. It's a big cove about 8 miles up the lake on this side. Lots of rocks fell off a cliff and made a kind of rock pile under the water. Haven't you tried that spot yet?
Why, you know that all my fishing has been down at this end of the lake, Mr. Pratt.
Oh, yes. I guess you did tell me that, didn't you?
It happens to be a fact.
I'm sure it is.
But now, look here, didn't you introduce this gentleman as Mr. Harris, Johnny Harris?
Oh, well, sure.
And yet a moment ago you...
Yeah, as I told you, Mr. Brady, Johnny is one of our best visiting fishermen.
Mr. Pratt.
But, Johnny, there's no point in your trying the rock pile today.
Why not, Ham?
Well, I just got word from the boys at the dam they're going to let out a lot of water. Some emergency or other down at one of the lakes below us here.
Let out some of the water?
Yes, sir. It'll be low tide today. I'm sorry, Johnny.
Oh, so am I. Well...
how much do they drop the water in this lake, Mr. Pratt?
The way I understand it, may go down as much as 20 feet.
20 feet?
What's the matter, Mr. Brady?
Why, nothing. Nothing at all. But now, excuse me, gentlemen, there are some things I have to do.
Well, now, Mr. Brady, I thought you was going fishing, too, this morning.
Yes, I am. Thanks very much for the breakfast.
Wait a minute, Brady. Why don't you go out with me?
I'd rather go alone, thank you.
Oh, we could at least try the rock pile until the water gets too low up there.
No, excuse me, I'll see you later on.
What's the hurry?
I tell you I want to go fishing.
Oh, no, you don't.
I beg your pardon?
You want to be sure of getting up to that rock pile before I do.
What are you talking about?
So that you can move the body of your partner, the man you murdered, out of that cove before somebody else sees it.
What are you talking?
Get it out of there and hide it somewhere else.
You're crazy.
Because you know it'll be a dead giveaway.
No.
You know the bruises on it will show how you murdered him, how you tied the anchor line around his leg to make him sick, to get your hands on the insurance, $500,000 worth. Get your hands on the business that he's left behind. Can you deny that, Brady?
No, I can't. Any more than you can deny who you really are. Mr. Johnny Dollar.
That's right.
Insurance investigator.
Right again.
It's too bad. It's too bad for you. Too bad that you caught up with me. Do you see this?
Now, put away that gun, Mr. Brady.
You see, you give me no choice now, Dollar. And I'm sorry, Mr. Pratt, but the same goes for you.
Don't be ridiculous, Brady.
Ridiculous or smart?
Surely you don't think you can get off a shot with that thing before I can draw my own gun.
Dollar?
For instance, like this.
Oh, no.
Ooh, Johnny, that took a lot of nerve.
Nerve? Damn, I was scared to death.
What?
I guess I'd never qualify for a part on Gunsmoke. Needless to say, Ham's talk about dropping the level of Lake Mojave by a full 20 feet was all a bluff, but it worked. Expense account total, including the trip on back to Hartford. Well, Mr. Benham, I think I'll just forget that. In view of my nice fat commission on that $500,000 policy. Yours truly, Johnny Dollar.
Johnny Dollar.
Hi, Johnny. This is Earl Pullman.
Earl.
You know, Tri-State Life and Casualty.
Sure, in dear old Los Angeles, California. I should say West Los Angeles.
No, sir.
Only I thought you'd given up the insurance business to retire out there in the Golden West.
No more,
If you were going to
Johnny.
do nothing but laze around in that California sunshine, maybe play a little golf. Hey, wait a minute. I hear you throw in a nose somewhere along the line there?
You sure did.
No to what?
California.
Huh?
I mean that Mike, my darling wife, and I are back home in Florida again.
No kidding.
No kidding. Right back here in Sarasota.
I'll be darned. When'd that happen?
A couple of months ago. And by way of keeping out of mischief, I've taken over the tri-state office again.
Oh, I get it. You're back to your old habit of putting in a pitch for me to get on down there and do some fishing with you.
Maybe, among other things.
Other things like what?
Like insurance investigation. What else? How's your musical ear?
Well, I think I can tell the difference between a fiddle and a bass drum, if that's any help.
It may be, Johnny. It may be.
What's up, Earl?
As long as the company will pay your expenses, why don't you come on down here and see?
Okay. Why not? The CBS Radio Network brings you Mandel Kramer in the exciting adventures of the man with the action-packed expense account. America's fabulous freelance insurance investigator, yours truly, Johnny Dollar. Account submitted by Special Investigator Johnny Dollar to the Tri-State Life and Casualty Insurance Company office in Sarasota, Florida. Following is an account of expenses incurred during my investigation of the fiddle-faddle matter. Expense account item 1, $79.40 taxi out to Bradley Field and a plane heading south. The flight was quick and easy, and by early afternoon I was in the office at 1306 Main Street that Earl shares with another old friend of mine, Don Boomhauer, a prominent real estate operator.
Don't let Earl kid you for 1 minute, Johnny.
What do you mean by that, Don?
Only real reason he wants you down here is to go fishing with him. And maybe in the hopes he can get you to settle down here, which wouldn't be such a bad idea, Johnny.
Now, stop making with the pitch, Don. You dig up Earl for me so I can get to work on his insurance problem.
Well, I tried.
And you did very well. Tell me, do you know anything about why he wants me down here?
I told you.
No, I mean about the job he has for me.
Oh, that. Well, Johnny, it's probably the most unimportant case anybody ever handed you. Did you ever hear of Mr. Joseph R. Tetrick?
Nope, never heard of him.
Real big in oil and steel and copper a while back. Came down here to retire. Built himself a big house at the north end of St. Armand's Key, really on Lido Shores.
And?
Well, that house of his includes an air-conditioned walk-in vault big enough for the average bank. And why?
Why?
It's to keep his collection of fiddles in.
Collection of fiddles?
That's right, violins. Fine, rare violins.
Oh, you must be quite a musician.
Nope, doesn't know a hemisemidemiquaver from a G-string.
What'd you say?
I wouldn't know the difference myself, Johnny, so don't ask. But that collection is his one pride and joy in life. A couple of genuine Strads. You've heard of a Stradivarius, haven't you?
And everybody?
Plus one called an Amati and a Paganini or a Pagliacci or whatever it is, and a Guianarius. And oh, boy, that collection must be worth hundreds of thousands, Johnny.
Well, what's happened?
Well, now, the one he cares about most is was a Bisiac.
Never heard of that one.
Well, now, apparently this man Bisiac over in Italy, and not too long ago at that, made a whole raft of real good fiddles, worth $1,000, $2,000 a piece.
Mm-hmm. I'll take your word for it.
But this one, they call it the Canary on account of its almost yellow color. Unlike the others he made, this one, the one Tetrick had, was just about the finest that he ever... Well, anyhow, Earl insured it for $10,000.
Get to the point, Don.
Well, like he always does every couple of months, and I mean with all those good fiddles, Tetrick took the Bisiac to a fiddle maker for a kind of a checkup, just to make sure it was still strung up properly and okay and all,
Well, you say that he doesn't play himself.
No, not a note, sweeter, sir.
Seems like an awful waste.
Yes, I know. It's a waste of all of them. But anyhow, he took the Bisiac to this man for his regular checkup.
Took it to whom, Don?
He's an old Italian named Antonio DiPolito. And he's been down here over a year now, has his little shop at the end of Palm Avenue.
DiPolito?
Yeah, DiPolito. Anyhow, he took the fiddle to him yesterday, and this morning early, the police found the place broken into, old man DiPolito on the floor, still out from a bang on the head, and of course, that Bisiac fiddle was gone.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Have the police any leads on who got into that shop and how?
Nary a one, Johnny. But, now, about 2 hours ago, Tetrick called Earl up on the phone and told him to hop on out to his home on the Key, that he was certain he had the answer to the whole thing.
That's where Earl is now. Huh?
Yes. And if you ask me, if Tetrick does know who did it, you've wasted your time coming down here.
Well, I better try calling Earl at the Tetrick place. You mind if I use this phone?
Wait a minute. Hold everything, Johnny. Don't bother. He's just parked his car out front.
Oh, good. What's the matter with him?
Oh, yes. He does look kind of funny, doesn't he? Hi, Earl. How are you?
I should say, what's all the gloom about?
Oh, hi, Johnny. I'm glad you got down here so fast. Tell me, Earl, did old man Tetrick really know who took his fiddle and how and why, like he said he did on the phone? I guess he must have done. Must have? Yes, Johnny. By the time I got out there to his place, Tetrick was dead. No, murdered.
Earl Pullman got back to his office to tell us about the murder of Joseph Tetrick, the Sarasota police had arrived there and a full-scale investigation was underway. Results so far, nothing. Apparently someone Tetrick knew had gone to see him. There were no signs of the house having been broken into. He'd let them in himself and got slugged to death with just one blow with a heavy crystal ashtray. But the police had found no fingerprints, no clues of any kind, not yet.
So if you want to go on over there and talk with the police, well, it might be a good idea, Johnny.
Yeah, I suppose so. Don, Earl, either of you have an extra car I can use for a while?
Oh, sure, Johnny, sure. Here, take these keys. It's the light tan job out in the back there.
Thanks, Don.
Oh, better still, I'll drive you over there, Johnny.
No, Earl. To where I'm going, I think I'd rather go alone. The little shop of Antonio DiPolito, there at the end of Palm Avenue, was just that. Little and dirty and thoroughly cluttered with the tools of his trade. In the dusty fly-specked window, he had half a dozen or so dark brown, cheap violins and a stack of fiber cases. Inside, on a couple of shelves serving as a counter, was the usual stock of strings, rosin, mutes, and so on. Mr. DiPolito sat behind his workbench, a bandage around his head, concentrating on a refinishing job on the fiddle in his lap. Now, let me say again that I'm no expert, but it did strike me that he was doing a rather good job with the varnish that he so carefully, painstakingly applied.
He's a kid. He's a crazy kid.
The body of the violin took on a sort of old-world patina under his expert hand.
These are children. They get us so careless. They drop the violin to make it a crack in the belly.
That's a good violin, Mr. DiPolito?
It's maybe $150, $250, but it's too good for the kid. He don't take care of him. So I got to fix up. Put on the varnish. Then he's to look like a $500.
Yeah, it looks pretty good.
Yeah. Now I'm hang it up here. And it'll dry. Yeah. And now, what am I going to do for you, mister?
I'm an insurance investigator, Mr. DiPolito.
Oh, yes. It's a terrible thing. Yes, that happened last night. The Beesiac, the beautiful, beautiful canary Beesiac.
I call it canary because of its color, I understand.
Yeah.
Because it had sort of a yellowish cast to it,
And because of the way it could sing like only the most beautiful violin of a master can sing. Only my own boy, my young Antonio. Yeah, but now the violin is gone. A terrible thing.
You want to tell me what happened to the Beesiac?
I was working on it, Mr.
Dollar, Johnny Dollar.
See, I was alone. It was very late. And because it was the beautiful Beesiac, and pulled down the shades in at the front, I locked the door, just like I'm telling the police, so that nobody would see me, and it's so late.
Yes?
And I'm, I guess I fall asleep. And then I'm going to wake up, because I'm hearing somebody in behind me.
Could you see who it was?
By the time I'm turning my head, he's a hit to me, and a hit to me. Oh, no. Only is daylight. And I'm going to see the police when he's a bang on the front door, so I'm going to let him in.
Well, the door was still locked then?
Yes.
And he'd come up behind you?
Yes. From the window in the back room.
Mm-hmm.
Come, I'm going to show you where he's a break open the window while I'm asleep.
Yeah, I'd like to see that.
Here. You see where he cut the glass? Where he make it the hole to reach in and lock the window?
Used a glass cutter and probably some tape to keep the glass from falling and waking you.
That's what the police says.
Looks like the work of an amateur, though.
Why you say that, Mr. Dollar?
Well, you see, instead of a clean, round stroke with a glass cutter, he made a whole flock of straight scratches with it. You see him?
Huh?
You feel that?
Yeah.
The kind of clumsy grooves that he cut?
Si, senor. But he's thinking he hit me.
Now, Mr. DiPolito.
Yes?
Like I've said a couple of times now, I don't know very much about these things. But you tell me, where could a violin, a fine violin like that, where would a person be able to buy one?
Well, Bisiak.
I mean, surely a little place like this of yours wouldn't sell them.
Oh, no.
At least if those you have in the window are any sample of the stock you'd carry.
Oh, no. Fine violin is like a fine jewel.
That's exactly what I'm thinking of. And it's a lot more conspicuous. So whoever stole a thing like the Bisiak would either have to hide it away for years or get rid of it immediately before the alarm was out.
The only place I know of that would handle a fine violin.
Oh.
Yeah, I kind of thought you might be coming over here. Feeling any better, DiPolito?
Thank you, Mr. Pullman.
Good. The only place I know of that would trade in a fiddle like the Bisiak and those Strads and the rest, well, as a matter of fact, that's where old Tetrick got all his violins.
Where, Earl?
The famous Wurlitzer collection up in Chicago.
Sure?
I could be wrong, but the way I understand it, practically all the great violins in the world have passed through their hands.
Okay, then. I'm on expense account, right?
Well, of course, but Johnny, what just happened to Mr. Tetrick is far more important than the fiddle right now.
Or is the fiddle the key to that murder?
Murder?
I'll leave Don's car here.
Huh?
That is, if you'll drive me out to the airport. Item 2 is 7905, plane fare to Chicago. I had a late dinner and spent the night at the Blackstone Hotel. That's item 3. Call it $15 even. In the morning, within 5 minutes of the time they opened for business, I was talking with one of the experts at the Wurlitzer collection.
Well, of course, Mr. Dollar will immediately notify every one of our branches, too, New York, Los Angeles, and so on, to be on watch for that Bisiak.
Good.
And, of course, we'll let you know right away if it shows up. Beyond that, however, I don't know what we can do.
Well, I'm afraid I don't either.
Terrible shame if it's got into the wrong hands. Only a true artist could do justice to that violin, but then, of course, no such artist would dare to use it.
Why do you say that?
Well, because it's now known to be stolen, too easily identified because of its unique, almost yellow color.
Oh, I see.
Poor Emil will be heartbroken when he learns of this.
Emil?
Emil Victor, who once owned it, played it in concerts all over the world before he brought it to us and we sold it to Mr. Tetrick.
Tell me, why did this Emil Victor ever sell it?
Oh, you didn't know? Tragic accident to his hands that also left him blind?
Oh, I'm sorry. No, I didn't know. Matter of fact, I'm afraid that I never even heard of Mr. Emil. Wait a minute.
Yeah?
That name, of course.
Emil?
No. Oh, son of a gun, I knew that name had rung a bell.
Oh, who's Mr. Dollar?
How stupid can I be?
I'm afraid I don't.
Emil Victor played that Bisiak for years,
Oh, 15 or 20 at least.
All right, then blind or not, he'd recognize it immediately if he heard it.
But I thought you just said Emil's was not the name that rang a bell, so to speak.
Don't you worry about that. Just tell me where I can find this Emil Victor and get me a list of concert bookings anywhere in this country.
Concert bookings? Now, I don't understand.
You will when I recover that Bisiak. Item 4 is 420 for a couple of phone calls to Earl Pullman. Yes, the man I was now looking for had been in Sarasota on a brief stopover before resuming a concert tour. Okay, now with the help of the concert schedule, I knew where he was going to play next. That very night, as a matter of fact. Item 5, $1.90 for a cab to the flat where the once famous violinist, poor, blind, old Emil Victor lived. I told him about my suspicions, of what I planned to do with his help.
But I cannot believe it, Mr. Dollar, that a fine young musician could... and that his own father... and perhaps he didn't know what he was saying.
Because of that bang in the head? Who really knows how hard he was hit? Maybe that wallop on the head was faked.
But if he was unconscious the rest of the night...
Well, that's what he says. Who can prove otherwise? Look, Look, he distinctly told me the shades were down so that no one could see him working on the Bisiak.
I see.
Yet later he told me that when he came to, he could see the cop, could see him outside knocking on the door.
Mr. Doyle.
Now, one of those statements is false. But I really deserve a kick in the pants because of those scratches, because I didn't get wise to them right then and there.
Scratches, Mr. Doyle?
Yes, from a glass cutter on the window in the back of the shop to make it look like that was the way somebody had got in there. But don't you see, I could feel them. I could feel the grooves there with my fingernail on the inside of that window.
But that only proves...
And another thing. Now, I don't know how much the old man knows about fixing fiddles. But when it comes to refinishing them, he is great. That much I saw for myself. Refinish, recolor, call it whatever you like. But my biggest boner was in failing to pick up the cue when he was talking about the Bisiak.
What do you mean?
He said, if only my own boy, my young Antonio... Don't you see what he was trying to get across? Was if only his own boy could play a fiddle like that. He tried to plant the idea that the boy never would.
But, Mr. Doyle...
Let's go, Mr. Victor.
But don't you see, if it was as you suspect, if the boy, if young Antonio does have it, if his father did change the color...
That's exactly what I'm betting on.
But then who could prove it's the Canary Bisiak?
Are you kidding? You.
Me?
Come on. We got to get to a plane to that concert in El Paso tonight. Item 6, 172.50, taxi to the airport, then plane fares for the two of us to Fort Worth and a hop westward to El Paso. There, thanks to a captain of police, our tickets for the symphony concert cost us nothing because, yes, the soloist for the evening was young Antonio DiPolito. I'll say this for him. The short, dark, intense-looking kid could really play beautifully on the rather reddish-brown-colored violin that he used. Well, I know.
Yes, Mr. Doyle. It is the Bisiak. I am sure.
Absolutely sure?
How could I be mistaken when that instrument of heaven was my own for so many years?
Okay.
Would a father not recognize his own child? And I tell you, the Bisiak was far closer to me than a child could ever be. It was a part of me, as much as my own hands and mind and spirit are a part of me. From the first note that young Antonio played, I knew it was the Bisiak.
Good.
Even though it does not quite sound the same as it did.
What do you mean?
Because of the varnish he must have used, the old man, to change the color.
Mm-hmm.
There is a dryness to the tone that was not there before. It is just as robust, as commanding in its tone as ever. Yet there is a dryness, too, that only I would hear. But it is the Bisiak, the Canary Bisiak. Of that there can be no question.
Okay, then come on. We'll pick up the police and wait for him in his dressing room. After the concert was finished, there in the dressing room when he was faced with the facts as I now knew them, temperamental young Antonio screamed and fought like a tiger. Literally had to be held down by the police. But then when the old master Emil tore into him and really put his heart in it, the kid broke down and confessed. Not only to theft of the fiddle with his father's help, but to the murder of Mr. Tetrick. It seems that Tetrick had called him in to tell him that he suspected him. And when Tetrick picked up the phone and called Earl Pullman, Tony struck him down and killed him.
So I've told you. I've told you everything. So you can take me away. You can kill me, too. But he deserves to die.
Did he, Tony?
Keeping such a priceless instrument locked up in a vault. It had to be played and played and played as only a true artist like me can play it. To thrill an audience with the warmth and color and sound that only I, Antonio, can bring from anything I touch. And now, thanks to you, I shall play no more.
No?
All this talent of mine, this matchless technique wasted. All the years that my father spent working, begging, even stealing so that I could study. And the hours and days and years of practice that I spent developing this wonderful gift that I have wasted.
Is it?
But it's the world that loses. Never again will an audience be able to feel the outpouring of my soul in the music of my violin. Without an audience to feel the power of my every note, I shall play no more.
Why not, Tony?
What?
Well, if an audience is all you need, seems to me that where you're going, you can be pretty sure of a captive one. So, from here on out, it's up to the courts. And that means for his father, too. You know, I wonder if the Tetrick estate will put the priceless fiddles in that collection in the hands of musicians where they can be used and appreciated. I hope so. Expense account total, including back to Chicago with Emil Victor and a trip home. That is after a few days of fishing with Earl Pullman back in Sarasota. $681.80. Yours truly, Johnny Dollar.
Johnny Dollar.
Mr. Dollar, this is Herbert Lynn, State Unity Life, Denver, Colorado.
Mr. Lynn?
I wonder if you're free to come out here and see me right away.
Well, now, let me see.
I hope so. What's more, I can promise you a handsome fee, in addition to your expense account, of course, whether my fears are justified or not.
Fears of what, Mr. Lynn? What seems to be the trouble?
A murder, Mr. Dollar,
Oh?
that has not yet been committed.
I see, but you think will be, hmm?
I must confess that I alone anticipate it, or at least an attempt at it. I hope that you can somehow forestall any such attempt.
Well, I can certainly try.
Fine.
I'll grab the first plane.
The CBS Radio Network brings you Mandel Kramer and the exciting adventures of the man with the action-packed expense account, America's fabulous freelance insurance investigator.
Yours truly, Johnny Dollar. Expense account submitted by Special Investigator Johnny Dollar to the State Unity Life Insurance Company, Denver, Colorado office. Following is an account of expenses incurred during my investigation of the old-fashioned murder matter. Expense account item 1, $111.45 airfare. The first plane to make the right connections didn't pull out of Hartford until late in the afternoon, so it was close to midnight by the time we sat down at Stapleton Field on the outskirts of the mile-high city of Denver. In spite of the time of year, the mountain air was cold, crisp, and clear. It was well after midnight by the time a cab, and that's item 2, $6 even, dropped me off at the famous old Brown Palace Hotel. I got myself a comfortable room and hit the sack, then first thing in the morning I dropped in on Mr. Herbert Lynn at the State Unity office in one of the big new buildings in Mile High Center.
I suggest you rent a car, Mr. Dollar, because this client of ours lives in Green Mountain Falls. That's a small settlement down just west of Colorado Springs, Manitou Springs, that section.
Oh, I know the place well, Mr. Lynn.
Oh, do you?
Mm-hmm. Back in the summer of 58. I spent a couple of weeks fishing out of the Lucky Four Ranch with my old pal, Ray Schmisny.
Ray, what did you say?
Schmisny. Believe it or not, that name's a lot easier to say than to spell.
I'm sure it is. Now, this client's name is Howard Hartzell.
Yes?
He's 73 years old, Mr. Dollar, and at one time was quite wealthy, which explains his insurance policy for nearly $250,000.
And you think somebody wants to murder him?
Yes, I could almost say I'm certain of it.
Who, Mr. Lynn, and why?
One or all three of his beneficiaries, or at least two of them.
Want to tell me who they are?
Well, to begin with, Clara Johnson, a niece. School teacher in Colorado Springs. 45, I'd say. And about as mean, selfish, and grasping an old maid as I've ever seen.
Mm-hmm.
When she found out about her uncle's insurance policy, she immediately wanted to know why she wasn't made the sole beneficiary. Mr. Hartzell had quite a time with her.
What does Clara teach?
High school chemistry. Now, then there's another niece, Bonnie. She's young, smart, good-looking, married to a plumber by the name of Harry Briggs, also lives in Colorado Springs. They have no children and managed to make a living of sorts.
Now, you have the addresses of these people?
Yes, right here. I've listed them on a slip of paper for you.
Here you are.
Good, thank you.
And finally, as you see, there's Tony Johnson, a nephew.
In Manitou Springs, it says here.
Yes. Tony inherited quite a bit of money from his own family. Went through it in less than a year. You know, big parties, expensive cars and girls and so on. And he's now working as a bartender in some cheap saloon there in Manitou Springs. Lazy, no-good wastrel, Dollar.
In other words, if something does happen in your book, he'll be number one suspect.
Yes, and I pride myself in having a sort of instinct in such matters.
Which of the two girls, the nieces, would you put next?
Well, if there were any reason to suspect anyone else, I should say Clara. I'm sure that when you see Bonnie and talk to her, you'll realize that she couldn't even think in terms of murder. What's that?
Oh, excuse the chuckle. I suppose if all the stuff you read in detective stories means anything, then Bonnie is the one I should suspect.
Didn't you hear me, sir?
If only because she apparently is above suspicion.
You'll see for yourself.
But suspect of what? Has there been any actual attempt to murder Mr. Hartzell?
Twice, Mr. Hartzell was narrowly missed by a car that bore down on him as he was crossing the highway in front of his place.
Mr. Lynn, you're talking about Route 24 that cuts through Ute Pass there at Green Mountain Falls?
I am.
Good grief, as I remember the traffic on that main highway.
Howard Hartzell is absolutely certain that each time the car tried to run down, and it was the same car each time.
Well...
Then, early one morning, a small caliber bullet plunged through the window of his living room, missed him by only a couple of feet.
Might be a careless hunter.
Then there was a mysterious fire at his home, in the middle of the night, Dollar. If a passing motorist hadn't seen it...
Even so.
And Mr. Hartzell was confined to his bed at the time. Well, he wouldn't have stood a chance. Incidentally, there's another thing.
What's that, sir?
His health recently.
After all, I believe you did say he was 73.
But up until recently, as healthy a specimen as you could... Why, if I'm in as good shape when I reach that age as he is, or rather was...
What's been the trouble?
I tell you, Dollar, that whatever's ailed him has been too all-fired mysterious.
Hasn't he had a doctor?
That's another thing. That ancient family doctor of his, Dr. Easterday.
What about him?
Well, if you ask me, his name ought to be Yesterday. He should have quit practice 20 years ago. But he's the only one that Hartzell will have. Matter of fact, Doc Easterday is living there with him now, to protect Hartzell, he says.
Oh?
Yes, and I suppose I must give the old pill pusher credit for that anyway.
How do you mean?
Well, I'm not the only one who feels that Hartzell's life is in danger, that those things that have happened weren't accidental. Now, that fire didn't come from any greasy rags.
Is that what the fire department said?
Yes, but I don't believe it.
Tell me, is Mr. Hartzell sick right now?
Well, right now he's on the mend from this last attack of, well, whatever it is. Liver ailment, says old Easterday. I think he was poisoned.
Have these nieces and the nephew been to see him recently?
Not since the doc moved in there, believe me. And that's been a couple of months now. He's allowed them absolutely no contact whatever with his uncle.
Well, if they've had no contact with him, how could they poison him?
That's what you've got to find out, Dollar. And find out which one and bring him to justice.
Him, you say?
Of course. It has to be that no-account nephew, Tony. But just because there's no reason to suspect her, I suppose you'll go to work on Bonnie.
Mr. Lynn, I think you're making a couple of mountains or two out of a molehill.
Oh, you do?
But as long as I'm here, I'll look in on these folks you've mentioned.
Now remember one thing, Dollar. If I'm right, and I'm sure I am...
Well?
Whoever would plan the murder of the uncle would be only too glad to get you out of the way.
Mr. Lynn had given me a good idea, possibly a dangerous one. It was simply to make no bones about who I was, why I'd come out here, why I wanted to see and talk with them. The nieces and nephew, I mean. Then, if one of them did try to make a fast move, get me out of the picture, I'd be on guard. It was a pretty sure way of knowing who was up to something. Item 3, $1.95 worth of phone calls to tell the relatives and the old man that I was on my way to... Item 4, $50 deposit on a rental car. I'd like to have stopped off at the U.S. Mint there in Denver, one of the largest in the country, to see if they were handing out any free samples, but instead I headed south on 87 past the big new Air Force Academy into Colorado Springs. Clara Johnson, the older niece, lived in a tiny 3 or 4 room house badly in need of repair on a side street off Cascade Avenue. Fortunately, for pretty obvious reasons, the interview was a short one.
It's ridiculous, that's all. Utterly ridiculous.
Now, Miss Johnson.
I mean that Uncle Howard, the old fool, should have included those other two in his will, in his insurance. Positively indecent.
Well, tell me, does your uncle have much of an estate besides the insurance?
No, not anymore. But do you know how much that insurance is?
I have a pretty good idea.
Nearly $250,000. And do you know what that would mean to me? To me, who's worked and struggled along all these years alone. I could give up this miserable teaching of those nasty, unappreciative brats at the high school. I could travel, go abroad, enjoy myself for a change, the way I deserve to after all these years.
Now, don't you think that Tony and Bonnie...
Oh, look at Bonnie. She has that young husband to take care of her, give her everything she wants, or at least most everything. And she's pretty. She has a nice figure, and do you think that Tony deserves anything?
Miss Johnson.
After the way he went through the fortune that his father left him. He does not.
Well, nonetheless...
Saloon-keeper, that's what he is. And always getting into scrapes for those gangsters that hang around that dive where he works. It's disgusting.
Miss Johnson.
I'm the one who deserves that money. All of it.
Clara.
If only that old miser would die before it's too late, before I get too old. But he keeps on living just to spite me.
Too bad you can't help him along then, isn't it?
I don't wish I could, Mr. Dollar. Believe me, if I could find some way to... Oh, no, I didn't mean that.
Didn't you?
No, I shouldn't have said such a thing.
Well, I'm afraid you did. Thanks very much, Miss Johnson.
Now, wait. I didn't mean that the way it sounded.
Bye. My next stop along the way was at Harry Briggs' plumbing shop. Bonnie was there holding down the store while her husband was out on the job, and she was pretty. Although it always kind of stops me a little when I see a girl working on her makeup over a business desk.
And I was so glad when you phoned to say that you're here to kind of look out for Uncle Howard. Oh, I called Tony and told him you'd be seeing him, too. Here. I look better now?
Oh, you look like a million.
Well, thanks, Johnny. Gee, you're cute for a private eye.
Oh, thank you, ma'am.
No derby, no cigar in the corner of your mouth. Just a real good-looking guy. Only I shouldn't talk like that, should I?
Well, I'm afraid flattery will get you nowhere.
Oh, darn.
Tell me, did you mean that you two have been worried about your uncle?
Well, of course, after those cars that almost killed him, and that fire at the posterior of his house, and these sicknesses he's been having one after the other. Oh, I'm sure that Dr. Easterday is doing all he can for him, but much as Harry needs me around here, business isn't too good these days, and I feel I ought to be out there taking care of Uncle Howard, nursing him. It isn't as if I didn't know how.
Would he have you?
No, he wouldn't, Johnny. I'm afraid he thinks that all Clara and Tony and I keep hoping is that he'll die and leave us that insurance.
And isn't that true?
Should I lie and say no? Of course, we'll be glad to get that money, all of us, at the proper time.
Completely forthright and frank, and I must admit I was well impressed. Maybe Herbert Lynn was a good judge of character. He was certainly right about Tony there in the cheap bar and grill over in Manitou Springs. This was a character I didn't like immediately. Short, thin, hair plastered down with nervous hands and shifty eyes set close together. As we stood there behind the bar talking, with Tony claiming only undying affection for poor Uncle Howard, another man came in and stood by, as though waiting for Tony's signal to rough me up. Yeah, Mr. Lynn was right, all right. I wouldn't have trusted Tony as far as I could throw the Empire State Building.
Sure, Dollar. If you can figure some way to knock off the old man. Well, I know 3 of us would be glad to cut you in on that nice fat hunk of insurance. What good is he living out the rest of his days, sick half the time?
Maybe you'd like to help him along, huh?
You think I wouldn't, wise guy, if I thought I could get away with it?
Don't pull any boo-boos, Tony.
Don't worry, buddy. I'm too smart.
Or all talk.
Hey, Tony, give me a back.
Hey, look, I got to get ready for the afternoon train, huh?
Go ahead. Maybe I'll see you later.
Sure. Any old time. Usual, Eddie?
The important thing now was to see Mr. Hartzell and the old family doctor at Green Mountain Falls. I walked around to the back of the saloon, got into my car, then turned on the ignition. But in that brief moment before the starter took hold, I heard a buzzing under the hood, a sound that I knew only too well. That car had been wired. I jumped out and ran, almost too late. By the time the smoke cleared away from the carefully set explosion, I was blocks away at another car rental agency. I knew that Tony would be even further away, if, that is, he was the one who planted the bomb. So item 6 is another $50 deposit on another rental job. I sped up to Green Mountain Falls, then, to keep the date I'd promised over the phone. In answer to my knock on the small two-story home there on the side of a mountain...
Mr. Dollar?
That's right. Mr. Hartzell?
No, I'm Dr. Yesterday, and thank heaven you've got here.
Oh?
Albeit I'm afraid you're too late.
You mean something's happened to him?
Howard Hartzell is dead.
When?
Just a few moments ago. Would you like to come in?
Yes, I think I'd better.
We can sit here in this combination living bedroom of mine, unless you wish to see him. But there's really no point in it.
How did he die, Doctor?
It was a severe case of toxic jaundice.
Oh, jaundice?
Yes, this hemolytic jaundice. A liver condition has been bothering him for quite some time.
Just one moment, Doctor.
Yes. Well, Mr. Dollar.
In spite of your rather fancy medical terms, something has just rung a bell. I can't quite tie it down. You're sure that jaundice is what killed him?
Mr. Dollar, after all, I've been practicing medicine some 50 years.
Well, maybe that's good, and maybe it's bad.
I beg your pardon.
When I was out here before on a vacation, I had an infected finger.
Well, I failed to see what...
Now, the doctor who treated me was a young fellow by the name of, Ed Wilson. Where's your phone? What young Dr. Ed Wilson had to tell me was more than a little interesting.
That's right, Johnny. If administered at repeated intervals, even minute quantities of arsenic compounds may produce a subacute type of poisoning.
Go on, Ed.
Well, the victim may develop a toxic degeneration of the liver. It may progress to an acute or subacute yellow atrophy that's accompanied by an intense toxic jaundice.
I see.
And that, in turn, can be followed by severe, even deadly gastroenteritis.
And is that sort of poisoning something that might fool an old-time doctor who hasn't kept up with modern developments in medicine?
Johnny, I wouldn't want to go so far as to... what is all this, anyway?
Thanks, Ed. Thanks a lot.
Do you mind telling me what that was all about, young man?
Doctor, I want you to have an autopsy made immediately.
But there was a physician in attendance at his death. I myself, it isn't necessary.
Doctor, will you please order the autopsy?
Well, very well, if you insist.
The result? Arsenic poisoning beyond the least shadow of a doubt. But then came the real problem. How and when was it given to him? More important, how it was given to him in small doses over a long period of time and by whom.
I, Mr. Dollar?
Well, apparently you're the only one who's been with him all this time.
But to think that I might... Oh, that's ridiculous.
Well, I hope so, Doctor.
I said, yet.
Yes? Well?
Well, I suppose I can't blame you for wondering about me. Ever since I began to worry about him and he began to suspect his relatives of planning his death, I've permitted no one else to see him. As you can see, I have my room and bath here on the first floor. His are on the second. And there is no way anyone could have gotten to him up there without my knowing about it.
You always ate the same food he did?
Always, and I prepared it myself. The only time during his waking hours when I wasn't with him, watching over him, was when he was in the privacy of his little bathroom up there.
Mm-hmm. And yet somehow... Did Clara ever come here to see him?
No. As I told you, ever since I've been here.
How about Tony?
Well, Tony hasn't been here since the day he... And even then I didn't let him in the door, since the last time he delivered a bottle of whiskey.
Whiskey?
Yes. In the beginning, I had Mr. Hartzell take a small quantity of it each night as a stimulant.
Well, all right, then.
Well, that was stopped months ago.
Oh. Where's the rest of the whiskey?
Oh, I'm afraid I drank it myself.
Oh, well, then that's out. Now, how about Bonnie?
Well, I told you, Mr. Dollar.
Yes, you told me.
Even her husband, when he came to fix the plumbing in the basement.
Oh?
That was 2 months ago.
Yes?
Even he wasn't permitted inside the house proper.
I see. You say you did the cooking?
Yes.
Who brought in the groceries?
I did all the shopping myself. No one could possibly have contaminated them, and I myself ate them.
And while you were out shopping?
The house was locked, and Mr. Hartzell let no one in.
You're sure of that?
Absolutely. Because during the past month or so, he was upstairs, unable to come down here.
Yet somehow, somebody... Wait a minute.
Oh, yes.
Posterior. A fire in the posterior of this house.
What?
That's the way it was told to me, and that's what's going to tie up this case.
I'm afraid I don't
Not the back of the house, Doctor, but the posterior. That's what you would have said. You, a doctor. So would a nurse, and a nurse would know all about arsenic, too.
Well, of course, but I
told me that she ought to have been here taking care of him, nursing him, that she knew how. Of course, she'd been a nurse.
Mr. Dollar.
And her husband is a plumber. Come on, Doctor, let's see if we can find the green telltale that arsenic would leave up there in his bathroom, say around the nozzle of a water spigot. And that's exactly where we found it. And downstairs in the cellar, hidden behind a furnace pipe and hooked up to that cold water line, not the line to the kitchen or the bathroom on the first floor, but hooked up to the line to the second floor was that ingenious, deadly device. A small container half full of an arsenic solution with a valve, so that only a drop at a time would enter the pipe that gave Mr. Hartzell his drinking water. The one drop at a time that killed him. Funny. It wasn't the sweet, gentle Bonnie who finally broke down and confessed their little plot, but her husband, the plumber who'd rigged the device, who'd also rigged my car for that explosion. So, once more, it's up to the courts. My only regret is that witless Tony and selfish Clara will share that nice hunk of insurance. Expense account total, including the trip home, $347.85. Yours truly, Johnny Dollar.
Johnny Dollar.
Lucian Peterson here.
Luke, how are you?
Just fine, Johnny. How are you?
Still out there in dear old Seattle, Wash?
Yep.
And still holding down a job with Western Maritime and Life?
Sure am. Or let's say I'm trying to, but at the rate we've been paying off on claims lately on some of my own clients, well, the Home Office doesn't like me too well.
Something phony about some of those claims, maybe?
No, but they've all been big ones. $500,000 here, $250,000 there, $600,000 just last week.
No wonder the company doesn't like it.
So right now, I don't want to have to pay off on Mrs. Myra Brittingham. That is, if I can help it.
Well, I don't know Myra Brittingham or anything about her, but if you've insured her and she is now dead...
That's just the point, Johnny. She isn't.
Hmm?
Not yet.
Oh? But maybe somebody would like to see her that way?
Well, I don't know, but I think so. Or maybe this hunch of mine is all wrong, Johnny. And I'll be the first to admit it, that this feeling, this worry of mine is nothing more than a hunch. If I were to tell the police about it, they'd probably laugh in my face.
Well, I don't know, Luke. I've had some pretty wild hunches work out for me more than once.
I know. That's why I've called you. And I hope you can fly out here and, well, see what you think. See if you think he's liable to try it.
He?
Yes.
Who?
Her husband, Mark.
Oh.
Yeah. Well?
Sure.
The CBS Radio Network brings you Mandel Kramer in the exciting adventures of the man with the action-packed expense account, America's fabulous freelance insurance investigator.
Yours truly, Johnny Dollar. Expense account submitted by Special Investigator Johnny Dollar to the Western Maritime and Life Insurance Company, Seattle, Washington office. Following is an account of expenses incurred during my investigation of the Chuckanut matter. Expense account item 1, $6 for a cab out to Bradley Field. Item 2, $186.70 plane fare. It was after 11 p.m. by the time we sat down at Seattle-Tacoma International, so item 3 is $5.25 for a cab into the Benjamin Franklin, where I proceeded to get me a good night's sleep. Then, after a hearty breakfast the next morning, I dropped in on Lucian Peterson.
Now, Johnny, you're staying at the Ben Franklin?
That's right.
And that's where I'll have them deliver a rental car for you. You can repack your bags, toss them in, be on your way.
Oh? To where, Luke?
A little town of Chuckanut.
Where is that?
Well, you know where Bellingham is.
Yeah, it's about 85 miles north of here.
And Chuckanut's 5, 6, 7 miles this side of Bellingham.
Oh. And that's where Mr. and Mrs. Brittingham live, hmm?
Well, just this side of it, off Chuckanut Drive, is Paleoop Lane. A narrow, badly paved road that'll take you up into the mountains. Be real careful of that road, Johnny. And if it's wet when you get there, be doubly, triply careful.
Why do you say that, Luke?
That dinky little road has more twists and kinks and switchbacks than you ever saw in your life. Miss one of the turns, and you'll end up either flying off into space or smashing into the face of a cliff.
Well, I remember that. But tell me, what's going on between the Brittinghams?
Well, to begin with, they're both heavily insured. As a matter of fact, $500,000 worth apiece.
Wow.
Yes, and they're insured in each other's favor.
I see.
Mark Brittingham is about 35, Johnny, and all his life he's been nothing but a playboy and a sportsman. Mm-hmm. Living first on the money his father gave him, and now on the insurance left him by his last wife.
Oh, then Myra's number 2, hmm?
Myra's number 4. And, Johnny, I'm as sure as I am that I'm sitting here that the only reason Mark married her is because she had one of those incurable diseases, only a few months to live type of thing.
I see.
Yes. Then modern medical science, not long ago, suddenly, unexpectedly, found a complete cure for it.
Mm-hmm. Tell me, Luke, did his former wife die of some incurable disease?
Well, that's what the police and company investigator and the court decided. Johnny, I've always suspected that he somehow helped the old biddy on her way.
Now you think he wants to do the same for Myra, so he can collect on her insurance, huh?
I do.
You have any concrete evidence, Luke?
Well, it's no secret that Mark and Myra haven't been getting along lately. Things have been pretty tense between them.
Why?
Well, Myra's 5 or 6 years older than he is. Still a very attractive woman, Johnny, believe me. But she's older than he is.
Mm-hmm.
Also, that woman has more expensive taste than anyone I've ever known. In other words, instead of dying off like he thought she would and leaving him a lot of money, all she does is spend it for him.
I see.
So instead of having plenty of dough for the racetracks and nightclubs and parties and so on, he's having to reef in his sales. And the only way he can ever get together a sizable hunk again is by having her dead.
Well, you think he'd go so far as to kill her?
If he can get away with it, yes. Because evidence to the contrary notwithstanding, Johnny, I still think that's what happened to the last one.
Well, if he should, I mean, he'd never collect the insurance.
If we could prove it.
Well, yes. Well, what am I supposed to do, Luke? Go up there and scare him out of it?
Why not?
That's a new one.
I know. As I told you on the phone, this is really all just a hunch on my part. But I think it has a pretty solid basis. Look, suppose you go up there, just see him on the pretense you're interested in buying that property.
Oh, is it for sale?
Well, he wants to sell it to raise some of that green stuff he loves so much, and that he's rapidly running out of.
To spend a couple of hours talking about their house and property.
Now, listen, Johnny. And then just let it slip out who and what you really are.
What?
Sure. If that doesn't convince him he's under suspicion, make him change his mind about trying anything, I'll eat my hat. Will you do it?
Okay, Luke. As long as you're paying the bill.
Good.
But I still don't think that you have any real... Well, we'll see. The weather was clear, and the drive up to Chuckanut was a pleasant one. But that little side road, leading up to and around the edge of a mountain toward the Brittingham place, was anything but. A couple of times on an outside turn on that tortuous, narrow asphalt, I could catch a glimpse of the house, far above and nestled in among the trees. But most of the time I was too busy watching the road, until suddenly, as I rounded a particularly sharp, tight outside turn... Whoop!
Hey, watch it there!
Directly in front of me was a police car. In front of that, smashed head-on into the face of a cliff, was one of the new compacts, the whole front end of it bashed in.
Well, now, mister, who might you be?
How are you, Lieutenant?
Only it's Sergeant, Police Sergeant Bill Foreman.
Oh, Sergeant?
Well?
My name's Johnny Dollar.
What? The insurance investigator?
That's right.
Well, I'll say this. It sure beats me how you found out so quickly.
Found out about what?
That stiff in there in that car that smashed up.
Stiff? Who, Sergeant?
One of those crazy Brittinghams that have been tearing at each other's throats for so long now that one of them just plain had to go.
Which one, Sergeant?
Not much question about that, Dollar. Go take a look.
All right.
Yeah, Dollar, that's Mr. Mark Brittingham. What's left of him.
Mr. Brittingham.
Hey, you sound surprised.
Yeah, I am.
You know him?
No.
Oh, his wife, then?
No, Sergeant. I never met either of them. How did you find out about the accident?
I got a call from his wife, Myra. Said Mark's been away for a while. He wouldn't be back until sometime early in the week, so she was all alone.
Yeah?
Said she was sitting up there on the porch. You notice the porch that sticks out the side of their house up there, Dollar?
No, it's so far away and I was so busy driving. Go on.
Well, when you walk back to your car, there on that outside curve, maybe you can see it. Anyhow, she caught glimpses of a car coming up the road. Whose it was, she didn't know. And, well, her being alone, she didn't want any prowlers around, so would I come take a look?
So?
Well, I told her I was busy. Maybe it was just a special delivery or something, but then she hollered, "Oh, my goodness, it sounds like there's been an explosion down there on the road." So I came on up here.
She didn't recognize the car?
This morning sun right in her face, and the car only showing itself now and then on those outside curves. But just take a look at that sun.
I see what you mean. So it wasn't the sun in Brittingham's eyes that caused this wreck?
No, the sun was directly at his back as he came around that last hairpin. But, Dollar, I always warned him about the way he'd come tearing up this twisty little stretch. That is, until he made me ride with him one day to prove his point.
What do you mean by that?
Well, he used to be a racing driver. Sure, he had me hanging on for dear life a couple of times. But I'll tell you this, Dollar, he could really handle that wheel. Anything made him crack up this way, wasn't himself. Must have been something gone wrong with his car.
Well, if that's so, it's going to be pretty hard to prove, Sergeant. Considering the way it's smashed up.
Don't be too sure about that. You ever hear of Mr. Hartford Homer Ransom, the sudden death detective, they call him?
Hartford? Oh, yes.
Yes, sir. Greatest reconstructor of traffic accidents that ever lived.
So I understand.
Yeah. Well, he lives just the other side of town. You give him maybe an hour or so with this wreck, and he'll tell you just exactly how it happened and why. Just as though he'd been standing right here watching it.
Well, then maybe you
talk about Sherlock Holmes. Oh, why, Mr. Ransom can look at a set of tire tracks or even a couple of pieces off an accident, and he'll reconstruct the whole thing, just like that. I tell you, sir, it's uncanny.
Well, Sergeant, you better get him up here to look at this.
I'll do that.
Also, I think you better have your coroner look at Mr. Brittingham's body. And,
Yeah? Well, what is it, Dollar?
the way that he apparently threw his right arm up in front of his eyes just before the crash. You notice?
Yeah. Well, sure, in the hopes of patting himself when he hit the windshield.
Former racing driver? Instead of slumping down, relaxing?
Anybody would.
I wonder.
Well, now tell me this. Wouldn't you put up an arm? I mean, seeing that wall of rock coming straight at you?
I don't know.
Well, I do. I know I would.
Wouldn't you have had both hands tight on the wheel, going around that turn at the speed he must have been going?
Well, maybe so. But he put his arm up.
And that's what puzzles me. Because he must have done it while he was taking the curve. That outside curve.
Yeah, well, I don't know. But now we better get up there to the house and give Myra Brittingham the bad news.
I'll tell you what, Sergeant.
Yeah?
Let me go up there and tell her. Meantime, you get this man Ransom on the job and have a medico do an examination of the body. And I mean a thorough...
Now, wait a minute. You think maybe this wasn't just an accident, Dollar?
I didn't say that.
But that's what you meant, isn't it?
Let's wait and see. The Brittingham Place, built there on the side of a mountain among the trees, was quite an establishment. New, modern, and very expensive. As for Mrs. Brittingham, Myra, well, Lucian had said she was about 40. She didn't look it. She was 5'3" or 4", brunette, with an almost olive complexion, very dark eyes, and the kind of natural beauty that you seldom see in a figure to go with it. I introduced myself and made no bones about my connection with the insurance company. Before I could tell her why I was there, she led me out onto the little porch where, looking out against the sun, I could see occasional spots on the road I'd just driven up. And then, calmly and with a self-control that I hadn't expected.
Was it Mark, Mr. Dollar?
I'm afraid so.
He's dead, isn't he?
Yes.
Well, I knew it would happen sometime. I warned him over and over about the way he drove so madly up and down that crooked little road, in spite of the fact he'd driven expensive racing cars when he was younger. I knew he'd kill himself sooner or later, and now he has.
I'm sorry, Mrs. Brittingham.
Are you? I'm not.
What did you say?
It rather settles things, doesn't it?
Does it?
We, hadn't been getting along, Mark and I, for quite some time. And I know it was partly my fault.
Why do you say that?
Because of money, Mr. Dollar. You see, I married him for his money because I thought that for the rest of my life he'd be able to give me all the things I'd always wanted.
Yes.
Oh, it was all great fun with him while he still had it. The big parties night after night, the racetracks all over the country, theaters, nightclubs. I even put up with his silly hunting and fishing up here. But when the money began to run out and we had to sell the big home in Bellingham and the cars and get rid of the servants and settle down in this little place, I've hated this place, Mr. Dollar. And I hated him. And we fought like spoiled, hysterical children. But you see, when he knew the money was getting low, well, if he had any gumption, he'd have got himself a job of some kind. For once, he'd have had to work for a living. But instead, he only got moody. He drank a lot, acted very strangely. Began looking at me in a peculiar, frightening kind of a way.
Oh?
And then, because of something he said one night, I began to fear him, what he might do.
Go on, Mrs. Brittingham.
Oh, I know, Mr. Dollar. He was upset that night because we'd had another argument, a terrible argument. And he'd had too much to drink. But he started laughing to himself, quietly chuckling to himself. And then he tried to say it lightly, as though he might be joking, but he said...
Yes?
He said, wouldn't it be nice for him if I should die, like his wife before me had? Then he could get a little fun out of life again, on my insurance money. It frightened me, Mr. Dollar, terribly.
I can't say I blame you.
And then these long trips and leaving me alone like this.
Trips to where, do you know?
No. Oh, I've wondered if he hasn't been out looking for someone to take my place. Or just planning some way to,
Well, it's all over now.
Well, I'd lie to you if I said I was sorry.
You know, of course, that you stand to collect some $500,000 of insurance.
Yes, I know. And I'll use it to get as far away from here as I can. Can you blame me?
I want to talk further with you, Mrs. Brittingham.
Of course.
First, though, I'd better check out the police report on this accident, purely as a formality.
Of course.
So, if you don't mind.
I'll be here, Mr. Dollar.
Why paint herself so black to me? To impress me with her honesty? So I'd dismiss any thought that she might have somehow had something to do with the accident? And another thing, a little thing, her sudden alarm when she'd seen that car coming up the road, even if she couldn't recognize it against the morning sun. Was that enough to call the police? Something wrong here. Something very wrong. It was early the next morning at police headquarters that I met with Sergeant Foreman, Dr. Hugo Bascom, the coroner, and with Mr. Hartford Homer Ransom, who knows more about the basic laws of inertia, matter, and motion than anyone I've ever seen. He can read a set of tire marks like an expert tracker reads a trail, and more important, he's an expert on human reaction times.
But the one thing I don't understand, Mr. Dollar, is his right arm up over his eyes that way.
Hey, that's funny. That's what Dollar said, too, Mr. Ransom. Seemed to me, though, he was trying to protect himself against the windshield frame.
Have time to take one hand off the wheel after pulling around that turn at that speed? No, Sergeant.
So he must have raised his arm to that position.
While he was on the outside of that curve, which simply doesn't make sense. Not at the speed he was traveling.
And like I said, he wasn't shading against the sun because the sun was at his back.
Do you suppose a good-sized bird or some kind of animal had dashed across in front of him and might he have done that involuntarily?
A man with racing experience on a turn like that? No, Mr. Dollar. It would have to have been something like...
Like what, Mr. Ransom?
I don't know. I don't know. And there was certainly nothing wrong with his car.
You're sure of that?
I'd stake my reputation on it.
Well, there was certainly nothing wrong with him, Mr. Dollar.
You did a complete autopsy, Dr. Bascom?
I did as thorough an autopsy on Mark Brittingham's body as I've ever done. There was absolutely no physical reason for that accident.
Mm-hmm. You checked for alcohol in his bloodstream?
I checked everything. And what's more, incidentally, I know that Mark's general condition was perfect. I myself gave him a complete physical less than 2 weeks ago. So if you're thinking about a temporary blackout or something like that, well, there's no reason for it.
Well, I wasn't, Doctor, but can you be absolutely certain that that isn't a possibility?
In my job, Dollar, and I mean as coroner, I would have to find actual evidence of such a thing before I could put it on record. No, there's only one conclusion that we can reach here.
Suicide, Dr. Bascom?
Suicide, Mr. Ransom.
Well, I'm sorry, but I can't agree with you.
No, you can't, eh? Why not?
Well, for one thing, the tire tracks. Had he crashed into that rock wall deliberately, the tracks would have gone straight to it. As it was, they were quite erratic for the last 81 feet.
I'm putting it down as suicide.
Also, that position of his arm, as though he'd brought it up to shield his vision against the sun.
And the sun being at his back. That doesn't make sense. You know it. I say it was suicide, and that's the way that I...
Wait a minute. Maybe it was the sun.
That's impossible, Dollar. Of course it is. Ridiculous.
Is it?
Ridiculous.
Dr. Bascom, before you file your report, I'd like time to play a little hunch.
A hunch?
Yes, maybe it's a pretty wild one, but there's one thing that could possibly have made him take his hand off the wheel on that curve and made him raise up his arm that way.
Are you still harping on that, young man?
I'm still harping on that because if this hunch of mine is right, Mark Brittingham was murdered.
Murdered?
Sergeant.
Yes, sir?
I want you to drive up to the house and bring Myra Brittingham down here.
But why?
Any excuse you can think of to look over these gentlemen's reports or something, but make it good because she's smart. Then when I call you on the phone...
Where'll you be?
When I call you, drive her on back to the house. And listen, when you get to that curve, take it slowly. Just crawl around it and with one foot on the brake.
Well, now look...
Unless you want to end up the way Mark Brittingham did. When the sergeant got her away from there, I went over that house top to bottom. Sure, there were mirrors on the bedroom walls, big, clumsy ones, a couple of hand mirrors, too, on her dressing table. But the kind I was looking for would be in among her husband's fishing and hunting equipment. I found the survival kit, all right, and in it were the usual, the water-purifying pills, some iodine, salves, bandages, a couple of cans of sea ration. But the little mirror was missing. I mean the kind that's used for signaling, a small, clear, oblong mirror with a hole in the center. By facing the sun and peering through that hole, you can aim it. You can focus the full rays of the sun on anything up to a mile away. And then I found it, tucked between the pages of a book on a table out on the porch, where she practiced with it and then used it as a murder weapon. I called Sergeant Foreman and told him to drive on up the hill, but slowly. And then as he poked his car around that crucial curve, as I aimed the mirror to reflect the blinding rays of the sun full into his windshield, well, fortunately, he was able to stop before losing control. He waited there until I drove down to meet them. Then...
No, she hasn't said a word, Dollar, since I jammed on the brakes and raised up my arm to cut off that glare you shot down here.
I see. Well, Myra?
How did you know? How did you know that's the way I killed him?
I didn't. It was purely a hunch, I guess, but it looks like it paid off, doesn't it? $500,000? That's a nice round figure. A lot of money. But don't they ever learn that even millions aren't enough to murder for? Expense account total? Oh, call it a nice round figure, like, say, $391.18. Yours truly, Johnny Dollar.
Now, here is our star to tell you about next week's story.
Next week, I'll be back with another exciting adventure that'll really surprise you. Join us, won't you? Yours truly, Johnny Dollar.
Yours truly, Johnny Dollar, is written by Jack Johnstone, produced and directed by Bruno Zerato Jr., music supervision by Ethel Huber. Johnny Dollar is played by Mandel Kramer. Also featured in our cast were Joan Ellison as Myra Brittingham, Robert Dryden as Sergeant Bill Foreman, Richard Kendrick as Luke Peterson, Bernard Lenrow as Hartford Homer Ransom, and Ivor Francis as Dr. Hugo Bascom. Be sure to join us next week, same time, same station, for another exciting story of Yours truly, Johnny Dollar. Art Hanna speaking.
Johnny Dollar.
This is George Caldwell, Mr. Dollar.
Caldwell?
That's right. I'm in charge of the Office of Amalgamated Life Association here in Meridian, Mississippi.
Oh, I see.
Yes, sir. And I'm certainly glad I caught you.
What can I do for you, Mr. Caldwell?
Well, I understand that you've been given top security clearance.
That's right, sir, I have.
Good. Our client was certain you have, and that's why he asked that you be called in on this problem of his.
Who is the client?
His name is Dr. Emmett Melcher.
Yes?
Yes, he is head of the Melcher Laboratories here in Meridian. He does a great deal of work for the government.
I see.
And he's most anxious that you lose no time in getting down here to see him.
Sounds pretty important.
I'm certain it is.
What's it all about, Mr. Caldwell?
I don't know.
What?
The only thing I'm sure of is that whatever it is, it's top secret.
All right. I'll get there as quickly as possible.
The CBS Radio Network brings you Mandel Kramer in the exciting adventures of the man with the action-packed expense account. America's fabulous freelance insurance investigator, yours truly, Johnny Dollar.
Expense account submitted by Special Investigator Johnny Dollar to Amalgamated Life Association Meridian office. Following is an account of expenses incurred during my investigation of the Philadelphia Miss matter. Expense account item 1, $81.60, cab to Bradley Field and plane fare to Meridian, Mississippi. Making connections wasn't as easy as I'd hoped. I had a stopover in New York, another in Atlanta, Georgia, so it was nearly 7 p.m. by the time I landed in the busy railroad and manufacturing center with its stockyards and business in cotton, tobacco, fruit, poultry, and lumber. In the hopes that Caldwell might still be waiting for me at his office, I grabbed a taxi. That's item 2, $1.85.
Okay, buddy, where to, huh?
You know the address of the Amalgamated Life building?
Are you kidding, buddy? I know this town like the back of my hand. Where'd you say you want to go?
Amalgamated Life Association.
Say it again, just once more.
Amalgamated Life.
I knowed it the minute you open that yap of yours. Hiya, Johnny.
Johnny?
Sure.
I don't get it.
You mean you don't recognize me?
I'm afraid not.
You kidding? I drove you halfway all over New York City one night when I was working up there.
Oh, I see.
Yeah, it was a couple of years ago. You was chasing some crook from all the way down to Pier 27 all the way up to the Bronx. That's my old hometown. Sure, you're Johnny Dollar. Remember how much help I was helping you run down that crook that time? My name is Bernard York, and just call me Bernie.
All right, Bernie.
Yeah, boy, I sure remember that big fat tip you gave me that night. Hey, kept me eating steak for a week. And now you listen, Johnny.
Yes, Bernie.
You need any more help? I mean, down here, you just give me the buzz. Now, you do that, Johnny.
All right, sure.
Yeah, I may not talk too good, Johnny, but when it comes to using the old noodle, a New York boy like me has it all over the yokels from any other part of the country, and that's a fact. So, what kind of case you got down here, huh?
I haven't the least idea.
Oh, now don't give me that, Johnny.
No, it's a fact.
Okay. You keep it a secret if you want. I don't blame you. I guess it's part of your business. But I'll try and keep an eye on you, Johnny. And when you need my help, you just let me know, okay?
Okay, Bernie. Okay. George Caldwell was still in his office, and we got to the point right away.
Yes, I checked the airline schedule, Mr. Dollar, found out how late you would arrive, and figured I had better stay around.
Well, tell me, have you found out any more about what's bothering this Dr. Melcher?
Well, I phoned the laboratories to tell him you were on your way, but it seems he was suddenly called to Washington and may not be back until quite late tonight.
Mm-hmm.
However, his secretary, Miss Mona Littlewolf, said that she would wait for him.
Littlewolf?
Yes, she's a Philadelphia girl. Part Indian, I understand.
Oh, I see. Well, I suppose I better grab a taxi and get on out to the laboratories.
I would think it advisable.
And the man behind the wheel of the taxi that just happened to be waiting out front? My pal, Bernie again.
Melcher Laboratories, huh? Must be real important, Johnny.
I wouldn't know.
Well, I do. And they got more government secrets going on at that place, you know, man and space and all that caper.
Oh?
Hey, is that what you come down here to investigate, something like that?
Bernie, I told you I wouldn't know.
Okay. But when you need me, Johnny, you just holler. I'll be around.
I'm sure you will. That secretary, Mona Littlewolf, it was worth the trip to Meridian. About 5'3" or 4", with jet black hair and an olive complexion that was out of this world. Dark eyes that didn't miss a thing but said plenty. And when you talk about two people who click on the spot, brother, this was it. It was first names right off the bat, and I felt perfectly willing to forget about Dr. Melcher and all his problems and give my time to her. And, she kind of gave me reason to think she felt the same.
Oh, now stop. Flatterer.
Well, how do you keep that beautiful tan sitting around in an office all day?
I told you. I'm part Indian. One of the few 1,000% Americans left around here.
That explains the last name, Littlewolf.
Mm-hmm. And you're sure your name isn't really Johnny Big Wolf?
Oh, Mona, you cut me to the quick. Tell me, when will Dr. Melcher be back?
Well, his last wire, it came in about an hour ago, said not until morning. That I should tell you to wait for him.
You know what it is that he wants to see me about?
You know something?
What?
I am his own private personal secretary.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't even know what goes on around this place. What he's developing or working on or anything. It's the eeriest thing, working here and not knowing what it's all about.
Well, I'm sorry I had to keep you waiting then.
I'm not, Johnny.
You know something? I'm not either.
Good. The only trouble is I'm going on a vacation tomorrow.
Oh, I'm going to be tied down here with your boss.
Oh, no.
Look, as long as I have until morning before he gets back.
While the cat's away?
Why not? Must be all sorts of ways to spend a pleasant evening here in Meridian. With you along.
Why not?
I fully expected pal Bernie and his taxi was still waiting outside, and after some snide comments on how fast I work and how well I pick him, he drove us back to town. I dropped her off at her apartment, then registered at the Lamar Hotel, showered, shaved, then picked her up and we proceeded to do the town. This time, by some miracle, without Bernie around. It was something after 3 o'clock in the morning by the time Mona and I helped close up the last nightclub on our list, then went out to the nearly vacant street to look for a cab. Taxi, run!
Oh, what a wonderful evening, Johnny, darling.
Mona, have you looked? It's morning.
Then the morning's wonderful. You're wonderful. Everything is wonderful.
Oh, Mona, are you sure you want to go away on that vacation?
Mm-mm. But I'm afraid I'd better.
But why?
Truth, Johnny?
The truth.
You? I'd better kind of get away and think about you and me.
Mona, another day or two.
You want a taxi, mister?
Oh, yeah, sure.
I didn't want to disturb you and the lady, but here you are, sir.
All right, thank you. Mona?
Yes.
Get away, mister. I'll help her in.
Wait a minute now.
Get in, lady.
Just a minute.
And stay in there and shut up.
Now, look. No, you don't.
Oh, no? Ah. And just to make sure, mister.
A number of years ago, it was said that, in spite of the large population of this planet, men and women remain the most inaccessible things on it. Today, we see this lack of understanding among peoples of the world reflected in headline stories. But it isn't because the people of the world are enemies. All people want to be friends. Long before the termination of World War II, Reverend Eugene Wood, a Methodist minister from Oceanside, California, went into a Scottsdale, Arizona camp where German prisoners of war were interned and offered his services to the imprisoned men. Among other things, Reverend Wood taught the men English, and he taught them about the United States of America. During the following years, after the men had been repatriated to their native Germany, nearly half of the internees corresponded frequently with Reverend Wood. Those men expressed a unique understanding of the people and the country of the United States of America. This great feeling of friendship and understanding prompted the minister to make a pilgrimage to Europe to seek out the men he had befriended in the prisoner of war camp in Arizona. This gesture on Reverend Wood's part gained him a fantastic welcome everywhere he went. In all the places he visited, he spread the gospel of love and friendship and had it returned to him. There were no enemies, only men with the love of freedom, the right of all men, everywhere.
I came to in my own bed at the Lamar Hotel. And working over me with a wet towel in one hand and a bottle of bourbon in the other was Bernie the cabbie.
Boy, Johnny, pal, you're coming around all okay.
Bernie.
Hey, you want another slug of this here now, bourbon?
No, thanks, Bernie.
So you was going to need my help around this bay? Sure lucky I was cruising around late last night. I seen you laying there in front of that fancy saloon. Boy, was you out cold like a fish.
Bernie, what time is it?
Well, it's almost 9 a.m. in the morning. Now, you lay still. I'll call. I'll have some breakfast brung up.
No.
And some good, strong coffee, boy.
Hey, let me have that phone, will you?
What? Now, listen, Johnny, pal, you better just relax.
Hello.
Now,
Hello, operator.
Johnny.
Operator. The call was to Mona's apartment. No answer. But why that attack on us? And the kidnapping of Mona? The few nice jewels she'd been wearing? Hardly. I asked Bernie if he'd seen the taxi.
Well, I seen a car pulling away, Johnny, but no taxi.
Well, now that you mention it, maybe it wasn't.
You sure tore up the street getting away, too. And, Johnny, it looks to me like somebody got wise to your being here on whatever kind of a job you're working on, and they figured they better stop your clock.
You may be right, but why carry off Mona?
Well, because they maybe thought she was working with you. And now they know you don't dare make a move if you don't want her getting hurt.
Well, that makes sense, I guess.
So maybe I better call up the police.
Wait a minute.
Easy now, Johnny. You just lay there and let me open it. You got a gun?
Yeah, right here.
Okay, you keep me covered. You ready?
Ready.
Yeah. I beg your pardon. Inside, buddy. Start talking. Who are you? Just start talking.
Wait a minute, Bernie.
Are you Mr. Dollar?
That's right.
Oh, thank goodness. I am Dr. Melcher. Oh, say, Doc, I'm sorry. But what is going on here?
Well, that's exactly what I'd like to know, Doctor.
And what has happened to you, Mr. Dollar?
Bernie.
Yeah, Johnny.
Don't call in the police, not yet.
Anything you say, Johnny.
See if you can find somehow what happened to the girl, what happened to Mona.
Mona?
If anything really did.
Check with all your driver pals all over town. If anybody's likely to have seen her, they are.
You're right, Johnny. A hacky is better than all the cops in town when it comes to
Right,
checking.
now go ahead. Circulate around, put it on your meter, and I'll pay the bill.
And if I get a lead on her, should I bring her here?
No. Don't even let her know. Just call me. If I'm not here, I'll be at the doctor's laboratory. Now go ahead.
Yes, sir, Johnny. You leave it to me.
All right now, Doctor. Tell me what it is that you wanted me down here for.
Oh, but it is too late. It has already been stolen.
Been stolen? What has?
Well, I'll tell you what I can about it. You see, it is highly classified. I'll tell you in a moment.
What have you said?
The point is that for some days now, I've suspected that someone was trying to get hold of it.
Yes?
Yes, the vault, the temperature-controlled vault in which I've kept it. You see, no one else has worked on this formula but me.
Formula for what, sir?
I found the vault had been tampered with. I didn't dare to call the police because of the secrecy involved, but perhaps I should have called in the FBI, but I sent for you because I knew that you... Oh, but you are too late now, Mr. Dollar. When I got back from Washington, I got there this morning. It was gone.
The formula?
No. The product itself. And unless it is found within 2 or 3 days at the most... But now I suppose I'd better tell you what it is.
Yes, Doctor. I think maybe you'd better. Believe me, what Dr. Melcher told me is classified. I can only tell you it has to do with, well, a sort of experimental fuel he's been working on.
What's more, Mr. Dollar, this substance is not only very powerful, but extremely unstable. Unless carefully controlled temperature and pressure are maintained constantly...
An explosion, Doctor? Something like that?
A most devastating explosion would take place. Not when it is perfected, you understand. That is what I am working on, but in its present form, the form in which it was stolen.
Why would it be stolen?
Full knowledge of it could be worth millions.
You mean to a foreign power?
To anyone working in this field. But don't you see, whoever stole it does not know the sample he took is incomplete, is imperfect, is terribly, terribly dangerous. Within a matter of a day or two, you simply got to find it, Mr. Dollar.
Listen, did you tell anyone that I was coming here?
No one. Except, of course, Mr. Colwell at the insurance company.
But no one else?
No one else. Absolutely no one.
But she told me she had orders to wait around for me.
She?
Yes, Mona.
But
So, obviously, the attack on her was only a fake. A cover-up.
Oh, no, Mr. Dollar.
I have a sneaking suspicion that when we find her, we'll find this... what we're looking for.
Oh, but I can't believe it. Mona.
You said it's worth $1 million, didn't you?
Millions.
All right, she knew I was coming because Caldwell phoned your office yesterday. And she must have figured out why. That girl's got a brain, Doctor. She knew then that she'd have to act fast, she and whoever's working with her, like the man who tried to kill me last night.
Tried to kill you?
Yes, it was her idea to go to that particular nightclub. It was a rendezvous with that goon. Now it all ties up. Hello?
Here's the word on it, Johnny.
Yes, Bernie.
I got it from one of the drivers west of depot in the bus station.
Yes?
Furthermore, he's known that dame for years.
Yes, Bernie, go on.
I mean, he's seen her around. He's had her for a fair, so there's no mistake about it.
Where is she?
Took off on a bus with a heavy suitcase with her.
Took off to where?
Bought a ticket to Philadelphia.
Philadelphia?
That's right. But now, Johnny...
All right, Bernie, thanks. Caldwell said she came here from Philadelphia. Doctor, I'll see you later.
Where are you going, Mr. Dollar?
The airport.
Airport?
That's right.
Oh, but I'm afraid I don't... Oh, but you must understand the danger, Mr. Dollar. If that substance is not found...
No time to talk about it, Doctor. I've got to get out to that airport and fast. Expense account item 4, $2 for a cab. Not Bernie's, couldn't wait for him. A cab to the airport. Item 5, $30.45 plane ticket to Philadelphia, PA. But before taking off, I called the office of the bus line, talked to the manager, and gave him specific instructions about a checkup on all passengers who'd cleared for the city of brotherly love that morning, about where and how to contact me. Then I jumped aboard the plane and we took off. When I got to Philadelphia, I enlisted the aid of my old pal, Lieutenant Harry Langley, of the police department. He went to work immediately, but then, nearly 24 hours later...
Nothing, Johnny, nothing. I checked that bus line from stem to stern at every station between Riddy and Miss and here. Well, it's the Philadelphia miss I'm interested in.
And don't forget, when that bus line manager called you here, he said he had no record of any long-trip ticket to any Mona Little Wolf to begin with.
Well, then she must have used another name.
Yeah, when he said the only through ticket to here was bought by a man?
Well, maybe by that henchman of hers. A cab driver back then meant the ticket was bought for her.
And, Johnny, I've had good men at the railroad stations and the airport, too, just in case. All of them with a perfect description of her. I don't think she's coming here.
Lieutenant, can you think of a better place to hide out than a big city like this?
Some out-of-the-way small town.
Yeah, I suppose so. Of course, her ticket.
Of course, Philadelphia was pretty small when I was born in it. You know, only a couple of hundred people.
What's the gag?
No gag. When I was born in Philadelphia, that's exactly what the population was, about 200.
What?
That was in Philadelphia, Indiana.
What'd you say?
Sure, my old hometown, Philly, Indiana.
Wait a minute, Lieutenant. Wait a minute.
You didn't think that right here in PA was the only Philadelphia, did you?
Lieutenant, if there's one more Philadelphia, maybe there's more than one more.
I wouldn't know.
Come on, get me a handful of maps, an atlas, anything. And the other one? The third Philadelphia in these United States? Not 40 miles north of where I'd started from, north of Meridian, Mississippi. And that's where Mona had gone with that deadly explosive with her. Airfare back to Meridian, $30.45, then $50 deposit there on a rental car. I raced north and west on Route 19 up in Neshoba County, heart of Mississippi's Indian country, where Mona Little Wolf could be sure of finding protection among her friends. On a side road a couple of miles short of Philadelphia, parked 100 yards in front of what was apparently an abandoned farmhouse, Bernie slumped down, sound asleep behind the wheel of his taxi. Bernie, wake up! Wake up! What goes on here?
Johnny, holy mother, what took you so long?
What are you doing here?
I told you, didn't I? My pops seen to buy a bus ticket up here to Philadelphia. Where you been?
Don't ask.
But listen, when you didn't show, I come on up here myself.
Good
see?
boy.
And I found out that her and that goon, his name is Willie Bigtooth, he's a bad one. They're inside of this busted down old farmhouse. See it?
They're inside.
Yeah, and me, I've been sitting here watching it so they couldn't make a break until you got here. What a solid day of it, Johnny. With them taking pot shots at me now. Holy, you see what I mean?
Come on, get around the other side of the cab.
You ain't kidding, but I'm glad he's a lousy shot.
He or she.
Mona! Mona Little Wolf, do you hear me?
She hears all right.
Go away, Johnny. Go on away. You and that crazy cab driver.
No, listen to me, Mona. That stuff you stole from the lab. Leave it there and get out, Mona. It'll kill you.
Sorry, Johnny. A bluff like that won't work.
I'm not bluffing, Mona. That stuff is explosive. Now leave it. Get away from there before it's too late.
What? Too late for what, Johnny?
You don't realize the danger in the stuff you have there.
All I know is it's worth a fortune, Johnny, darling.
Mona, listen to me.
And if you think we can't get out of here after dawn...
She's right, Johnny.
Mona!
You're forgetting. We have Indian blood in us.
Get out of there, Mona. Get away.
Yes, darling? Get away from what?
Holy Toledo!
Any comments on this case? Why bother? Expense account total, including a midful for good old faithful Bernie, $485.75. Yours truly, Johnny Dollar. Yours truly, Johnny Dollar, is written by Jack Johnstone, produced and directed by Bruno Zerato Jr., musical supervision by Ethel Huber. Johnny Dollar is played by Mandel Kramer. Also featured in our cast were Mason Adams as Bernie, Arthur Cole as Dr. Melcher, Rita Lloyd as Mona Littlewolf, Martin Blaine as Lieutenant Langley. Be sure to join us next week, same time, same station, for another exciting story of yours truly, Johnny Dollar. This is Stuart Metz speaking.
Johnny Dollar has come to you through the worldwide facilities of the United States Armed Forces Radio and Television Service.
Johnny Dollar. Dollar, this is Michael J. Kendry at the San Francisco office of International Life and Casualty.
Mr. Kendry?
No, I'm not in my office. I'm over at Lake Tahoe. You know the place?
South of Reno, kind of half of California, half of Nevada.
That's right. I'm staying at a motel called Seven Pines Lodge at the south end of the lake. On the map, the town's called Al Tahoe.
Seven Pines Lodge in El Tahoe. Yeah, got it. Oh, and I understand there's some pretty great fishing in that lake. So, Kendry, I'll grab the first plane I can.
Fishing, huh?
What?
Maybe that's what you'll end up doing, all right.
Great.
For the body of a man named Marvin W. Smedley.
Huh?
CBS Radio brings you Bob Bailey in the exciting adventures of the man with the action-packed expense account, America's fabulous freelance insurance investigator.
Yours truly, Johnny Dollar. Expense account submitted by Special Investigator Johnny Dollar to the International Life and Casualty Insurance Company, San Francisco office. Following is an account of expenses incurred during my investigation of the Twins of Tahoe matter. Expense account item 1, 182.50, cab to Bradley Field and an early morning jet flight to San Francisco. Item 2, when I got there, $50 deposit on a rental car. I could have taken a ferry plane to Sacramento or even north to Reno, but I wanted another look-see at this part of the country, and I'm glad I made the drive, for Route 50 took me through a lot of the romantic old gold rush country. Yeah, through Placerville, now a quiet, busy little city, but once one of the most lawless, notorious places in the West, where the corner of Main and Coloma Streets was known only as Hangtown. And at one end of Main Street, you can still see the famous Hangtown bell that was used to call out the vigilantes in times of trouble. And then, finally, Lake Tahoe. And in my way of thinking, it's one of the most beautiful spots on Earth. Over 20 miles long and about half as wide. Its deep, clear water is the bluest I've ever seen, except in the shallows along the edges where it changed to an almost brilliant emerald. Tall, snow-capped peaks stand out above the dense, forever-green forest that surrounds the lake, barely hiding the many resorts that nestle together along the water's edge. And the water's cold out there and very deep. There are parts that have never been fathomed. Now and then I could see the clean, cloudy wake of a speedboat, sometimes with a water skier in tow. A group of small sailboats, white canvas, spread to the wind. Here and there along the shoreline, a few hardy souls in swimming, braving the chill waters in that breathless high altitude before the early winter snows would come. And then, in contrast, in various spots along the highway on the Nevada side, as such things are illegal in California, there were huge, gaudy, restless, noisy gambling houses. And out Tahoe at the Seven Pines Lodge, and there were 7 tall pines around the neat little motel, Kendry was waiting there for me.
Dollar?
Yeah, that's right.
Glad you made it. I'm Mike Kendry.
Oh, yeah. How are you, Mike?
Come on into my cabin. I'll tell you what it's all... Mrs. Nelson, Mr. Dollar's arrived. I'll settle him in the cabin next to mine. Come on, Johnny.
Good, yeah. Hey, you mentioned fishing for the body of a man by the name of Smedley.
The police are fishing for it now. Marvin W. Smedley. He was a client of ours. Very wealthy, retired. Come on in. Sit down.
Okay, sure. Well?
On the way in here, you passed a big piece of lakeside property with a small stone house set back away from the beach. Oh, yeah, I know. Smedley's, where he lived with a housekeeper, Mrs. Turner, and his twin nephews, Tracy and Alfred Smedley. They're about 25 or 6.
So what's happened?
About 3 o'clock this morning, Mrs. Turner woke up to what she thought was the sound of a shot. She went into the boys' room to see if they'd heard it, but they weren't there.
Oh?
And she remembered Tracy had said he'd be out gambling all night over on the Nevada side, and that Alfred was at a 2 or 3 day house party at the upper end of the lake. And rather than try to waken old man Smedley, well, she decided it was only a backfire and went back to bed.
Yeah?
But when she got up for breakfast, well, she found the library in a real mess, and the safe had been rifled.
No sign of Smedley?
No.
Go on, Mike, please.
Now, she knew that old Smedley had a habit of getting up in the middle of the night and going in there and counting his money. He never did trust the banks, kept everything he had in that safe. So she knew right away what must have happened. She knew for sure when she found that Smedley wasn't in his bedroom or anywhere else around the house. Also, she says she could smell gunpowder there in the library.
Well, did she call the police?
Yeah, and Sergeant Corder came running. And when he found the footprints leading down to the beach, down to the dock, and the marks of a body dragged along.
And the body itself?
No sign. Must have been weighted down and dumped in the lake.
Who, Mike?
No question about it. They've been living easy off him for years, just waiting for him to die so they could get their hands on his money. One of the twins.
Only one of them?
Only one set of footprints out there in the sand.
Have the police been able to find the twins?
Sure have. They've got them locked up in the local hoosgow.
Then what's the problem?
Only one of them did it, Johnny.
Okay.
But both of them, both of those boys have absolutely airtight alibis. Crime, delinquency, threats of war. These are the subjects that dominate our news headlines these days. Not very pleasant subjects, are they? You may say that somebody ought to do something about cutting down on crime and delinquency and in promoting peace among nations. But that there's nothing you personally can do about it. Well, that's where you're wrong. You can wage your own fight against crime and delinquency in your own family by taking the family to the church or synagogue of your faith this week. The inspiration and guidance you and they will receive from spiritual contact will strengthen moral background and faith. Regular attendance at religious services will help your family to work out its own problems and give them comfort in facing the tensions of our present-day life. Worshipping together brings your family closer together, too. And supporting your own religious institution provides funds to help those individuals and families who, unlike you, are unable to help themselves. Find the strength for your life. Worship together this week. And now, Act 2 of yours truly, Johnny Dollar.
Police had roped off a lane from Smedley's house to the beach to the dock, where it was obvious from the tracks in the sand that somebody had dragged the old man out there, piled him into one of the rowboats, then dropped him into the lake.
Sure, it was one of those twins, Mr. Dollar. It had to be.
Well, now, why do you say that, Chief?
Sergeant Bill Corder.
Okay, Sergeant.
Well, not only because of what Mr. Kendry told you about him, but because the footprints that hauled him out of here was made by the shoes of one of them.
Which one?
Either Tracy or Alfred.
But you don't know which?
Well, that's the trouble. Not only because it was a pair of brand new shoes that didn't have any what you might call identifying marks, even where they showed up clear in the damp sand, but because those two young punks always dressed exactly alike. You know, so as to cover up for each other.
How do you mean?
I mean, not only because they were always... Those boys were always mischief makers, Johnny. They sure were and still are. They just didn't have anything else to do. One of them would provoke a fight at one of the gaming casinos or borrow somebody's car without permission or such nonsense. And each of them would swear it was the other.
Yeah.
And because they look and talk and act exactly alike so that nobody can ever tell which is which, well, the police here, never knowing which one they could legally hold, and they were always threatening the super false arrest. And you'd be as mad as we are over how many times they've gotten away with that, Dollar. Right. And not only because witnesses to whatever they did couldn't tell them apart, but that fool uncle of theirs would always come along and pay a fine or something before we could nail down the right one. That's it.
And you say they both have alibis for whenever it was this thing happened?
Yes, sir. About 3 o'clock this morning.
And you're sure about those footprints?
Sure I am. Found the shoes that made him in the house in the clothes closet. Found the sand on them.
In whose closet?
Tracy's.
Oh?
Yes, sir.
And Alfred. Same closet.
Sergeant Corder, Mike and I went on into the house to talk to Mrs. Maid Turner, Smedley's old housekeeper. Tall, raw-boned, but erect and strong in spite of her years, having worked hard all her life. She looked as if nothing in the world could ever face her. But obviously the death of her employer had.
If only he'd have listened to me, Mr. Dollar. If only he'd have listened. Because I knowed something like this would happen to the poor old man. Him keeping all of his money here in the house instead of down to the bank where he ought to.
How much money, Mrs. Turner?
Oh, goodness knows, Mr. Dollar. But it was all he had, and he was a rich man, and everybody knowed that he kept it here, and that he'd come down in the middle of the night and count it all out to himself, and look. He didn't even pull down the shade, so as anybody and everybody could see him sitting here with all his money, and I told him, and now it's happened.
In other words, Sergeant, almost anybody around here could be suspect.
If it wasn't for the footprints out there in the sand.
Well,
Footprints, did you say?
Well, to be honest about it, that's why I came in here earlier, Miss Turner, to look at the boy's shoes in their closet. You see, whoever did it and hauled him out and threw him in the lake, well, that is...
He don't need to tell me, officer, because I kept telling him about them, too. About the way he was spoiling them for that, giving them everything they wanted. I told him that sooner or later one of them would get so greedy he'd turn on to him.
But which one, Mrs. Turner?
Which one? They're the only relatives that he had. So it was Alfred.
Oh?
Oh, it was Tracy.
Yeah. My next move was to go on down to the jail and talk with the twins. Oh, they were identical, all right. I wondered how they themselves knew which was which. But in spite of what seemed to be the general opinion of them, they impressed me as just a couple of rather nice, normal, high-spirited kids.
So, what if we did raise a little cane around town now and then, Mr. Dollar? None of it ever really did any harm, and we had to do something with our time.
All right, now look here, Tracy.
No, I'm Alfred.
Oh, and I'm...
And what I mean is, it's no reason to pin a lousy thing like this on us, even though we aren't too sorry that he's gone. After all, what did he have to live for? I mean, just having to drag on maybe 10 or 15 years more with that lung trouble he had.
Now, look, you boys never had to do a lick of work in your lives.
Well, not since we got through school. But do you know why, Mr. Dollar?
Why, Al? I mean, Tracy?
Because Uncle Marv didn't want us to. He'd worked so hard as a prospector and a miner, accumulating his pile, and he wanted somebody to enjoy his money.
And that old skinflint ever want somebody else to enjoy it?
That's right. Trace and me. We're his only kin. Yeah, that's why he told us he was leaving us all his insurance.
And what about the rest of the estate?
We don't know and we don't care. After all, he did plenty for us. I mean, even before this insurance we'll get.
Not if it's proved that you killed him, Tracy.
Oh, now wait, Mr. Dollar. Have you got any proof that Uncle Marv was killed?
Proof that...
Well...
What?
I mean, sir, that unless you find his body...
Don't you worry about that, Tracy. Al. My boys will find his body if they have to drag that entire lake.
But unless you do, you won't really have a case against us or anybody, will you?
We'll find it, all right.
And why don't you suspect somebody besides us?
Yeah? Like who?
I'll tell you who, Sergeant. What about all those old prospectors from the old days that he did out of mining claims that have kept coming back to him for handouts?
Oh, you're a fine one to talk about handouts. Now listen, don't tell me you aren't glad that he's gone.
Yes. Trace and me and that old witch Turner and all the other people.
Now, you look. Wait a minute. If Miss Turner hadn't taken care of him all these years...
Oh, sure.
All right. I understand you boys have pretty good alibis for 3 o'clock this morning.
Do we have to go over all that again?
What, afraid you might slip up retelling them, Al?
I'm Tracy, Mr. Dollar.
Okay. Now tell those alibis to me.
Okay, Mr. Dollar. Whatever you say.
Okay, Carl, you relieve Jimmy over there on the blackjack table. When he gets back, you can take over one of the roulette wheels. Oh, Mr. Harker?
Sure, Dollar. One of the Smedley twins was in here all night.
Which one?
Came in around midnight and didn't pull out until, it must have been about 8:30 this morning.
All right. Now, you're sure that he was here at about 3 a.m., huh?
Sure, I'm sure. Playing one of the crab tables.
He didn't step out for a few minutes, perhaps?
No, sir, and I know. Because I always keep an eye on those Smedley kids. You don't watch them, they're liable to pull tricks on our dealers. They think it's funny.
All right. Which one was it? Do you know?
I told you. It was Alfred Smedley, or his brother Tracy.
Thanks.
Come in and have a little refreshment, Mr. Dollar.
No, thanks. Just go on with what you were saying, please.
Well, the party got pretty big, and we all had a lot to drink. I didn't watch the clock, and it didn't really break up until about 9 o'clock.
This morning?
Mm-hmm.
And he was with you all the time, huh?
Every minute.
All right, now, which one of the twins was it?
Who cares? You're both a lot of fun. I mean, fun.
But, now listen, I have to know if it was Alfred or Tracy.
But I haven't the least... You know, what's this all about, Johnny?
Murder.
Oh.
Well?
Well, it was Tracy. Maybe it was Alfred.
Thanks a lot.
Now, Act 3 of yours truly, Johnny Dollar, and the twins of Tahoe matter.
So both Tracy and Alfred Smedley had alibis, if for no other reason than that neither of them could have been in two places at once. And those alibis might be pretty hard to break. Yet, according to what little actual evidence there was, one of them must have killed their uncle, or the insurance... Oh, no, wait a minute. Yeah, there was something that Alfred, or Tracy... Anyhow, there was something that one of them had said that suddenly gave me a hunch. Expense account item 3.70 for phone calls to locate Smedley's lawyer on Mr. Kenneth McManus. Then I dropped into his office and asked him just exactly one question about the old man's will. And his answer gave me a new, fresh start on the case. Item 4, 10 cents, another call. This one to Sergeant Corder.
Yes, Dollar. The boys found the body all right.
Yeah?
Now, you know how the water off that beach stays clear and shallow until it, gets to 150 yards or more straight out from the dock?
Yeah?
And it drops off over 300 feet straight down, just like that?
And the body had been dumped over that ledge?
Oh, but it's gone all the way down. We'd never have found it. But it was hung up on a rock, not more than 20 foot under.
I see.
And, Dollar, there's a nice, clean bullet hole in the back of his head.
Did you find the gun?
Same caliber as one that was issued to those twins a couple of years ago.
Did you find it?
No, sir. And if it was dropped overboard, too, and it must have been... Well, I hate to say it, but... Dollar, we'd never find a little gun in over 300 foot of water at the bottom of that lake.
No, all right, then.
We'd never find it in 1,000 years.
Maybe we don't need to, if I can pull off a little bluff.
In other words, we're never going to know whose prints are on it.
Sergeant.
But it was one of those twins did it, all right.
Sergeant.
No, there's just no question about it.
Listen, Sergeant, listen to me, would you please? I want to go back to the house.
Huh?
You meet me there in the library, there at Smedley's house.
Oh?
Yeah. I'll be there in 5 minutes.
Oh, no.
That's right, Miss Turner.
Oh, that's terrible. Terrible place.
Mrs. Turner.
If you just brought me his poor old body here to the house...
Mrs. Turner.
Yes, Mr. Dollar.
Well, let's quit fooling around with this thing, huh? I just finished talking to Mr. Kenneth McManus.
Mr. McManus?
That's right, the lawyer.
Yes. Yes, and I guess he told you that all of poor Mr. Smedley's insurance goes to those two worthless twins, those murderers.
Yes, he mentioned that.
Is that all he told you?
No. He also told me that the remainder of the estate goes to... Let me see, I scribbled down some of the actual words. Here we are. The balance of my estate, including my home, I bequeath to one who, although I'm certain her motives have been entirely selfish, that she has simply been looking forward to being provided for in my will.
What?
Nevertheless, as a reward for Mrs. May Turner's faithful service, and I have told her this.
He left something to me.
You know that he told you he did. And that was your motive, Mrs. Turner.
What's this? Now, you look
Of
here,
course, the gun
young man.
belonging to the twins was just as available as a pair of shoes that were borrowed to carry the body out there and leave the footprints.
Dollar.
The point is, though, that when Sergeant Corder found not only the body, but the gun out there in the lake.
No, Dollar.
And when I take your fingerprints and compare them with those we found on the gun.
No, listen.
You don't mind giving me a set of your fingerprints, do you, Mrs. Turner? Well,
half of my life. Half of my life I spent taking care of that stingy old man. And him giving me nothing. Whilst all the time he kept giving his money to them boys. So that by the time he finally would die natural, what they'd be left for me.
And you would have let those boys go to the gas chamber, wouldn't you?
No.
Oh, no?
I hated those boys. But I knowed they could never put it on to them. Nobody could ever put anything on to them before.
I'm afraid that's beside the point now. Now that we know you did it.
But I had to. Because if I'd have waited, he'd give them all his money, and when he did die, there was nothing left. Nothing for me. Nothing. Don't you see?
What's left for you now, Mrs. Turner? Oh, sure, from here on in, it's up to the courts. And no doubt the whole estate will go to the twins. You know something? I hate this kind of a case. It leaves a bad taste in my mouth. Expense account total, including incidentals and the trip back home, $416 even. Yours truly, Johnny Dollar.
Constipation is something people don't talk much about, but it can be a problem for anyone, even doctors. And when constipation occurs, it's interesting to see just what doctors consider important about a laxative they might use or recommend. Now, a majority of the doctors we heard from had this to say.
A laxative should be effective, gentle, close to natural acting. A medicine that can be used with complete confidence.
Well, pleasant-tasting chocolate X-Lax is effective. Overnight, it helps you toward your normal regularity. X-Lax is so gentle, so close to natural acting, there's no upset. That's why many doctors and millions of people use X-Lax with complete confidence. X-Lax, the laxative that helps you toward your normal regularity gently, overnight.
Now, here's our star to tell you about next week's story. Next week, one of the most beautiful, most charming girls I've ever known, involved with a killer. But, now, don't misunderstand me. I didn't say how she's involved. As a matter of fact, it's to protect her from a killer that I take on the case. And it just so happens that among the people on this man's list of intended victims, that is, the people who had a hand in sending him off to prison, yeah, you guessed it, he's also after me. Join us, won't you? Yours truly, Johnny Dollar.
Yours truly, Johnny Dollar, starring Bob Bailey, originates in Hollywood and is written, produced, and directed by Jack Johnstone. Heard in our cast were Virginia Gregg, Gene Tatum, Paul Dubois, Forrest Lewis, Sam Edwards, Herb Ellis, Tom Hanley, and Bill James. Be sure to join us next week, same time and station, for another exciting story of yours truly, Johnny Dollar. This is John Wald speaking.
Menace looms over blistering desert wastes as Suspense brings you Inferno next on the CBS Radio Network.